Hi, Fashion Dolls. It is Motivation Monday, January 22nd, and welcome to another episode of Style by Stevie. Are y'all ready for some beauty girl talk today? But before we get into the fun things, I would like to send my condolences to the King family. I'd be remiss if I didn't start the show off by sending my condolences to the King family, the youngest son of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and we just celebrated MLK Day not too long ago, last week if I'm not mistaken. Dexter King has passed away at 62 years old due to pancreatic cancer. And he's lived such a long life, has put so much in the universe and all together. But I had to start the show off by sending my love and condolences to the King family. All right, Fashion Dolls? So, it is Paris Fashion Week Haute Couture edition, and you guys know couture fashion is over, above, and beyond the extreme. So I had to come in with the metal dress today. So let's welcome my very special guest and get into some girl talk, shall we? Let's welcome Shayla Crayola. I had issues loading the live the last time with Ethic.
Hey,
Hello.
hey.
Hello. Welcome to the dollhouse, gorgeous. How are you?
I am doing good. It has been a crazy couple days. Everybody in the house is sick. We all got
Um,
some kind of cold, flu, I don't know what. So it has been few couple days of just blowing noses, snotty little kid. It's been nasty.
oh, oh my God. Sending you and the family love. Make sure that you guys are being safe out here. This weather, girl, I'm telling you,
It's
is
been
something else.
crazy. Like this morning, it was 40 degrees outside, and I went outside recently just to throw something in the garbage can, and it actually felt really nice. And I'm like this up and down, super cold in the morning, but then by the afternoon, it's okay. It's just making everybody sick, and I was sick first, little man sick, and then now Damon's got chills, so we going through it.
Yeah. Yes. And I had your husband on the show last year, 2023.
Yes.
We closed out, and I said, we got to get the wife on the show. We got to have some
Yeah.
girl talk. We are into all things beauty, which we are going to be getting
Oh
into
yeah.
in today. So before we get to the beauty part of it, motherhood, how do you find the balance of being a mom? I know you said everybody in the house is sick. You are the queen of the castle. So for women, for us, my mom told me this, for women, our job never
Oh, it
stops.
doesn't.
So
It don't.
how do you find that balance, girl?
Well, it does really help with Damon, like just being able to like do certain things. Like if I'm busy with little man, he can do something else because at this age, at 3 years old, he don't want really much to do with daddy. If he's sick, it's mommy. If he needs something, it's mommy. He's cool with daddy. Daddy's fun, he'll hang out with daddy and all that. Like right now, he's in there with daddy while I do this. But trust me, if he don't feel good, he come to find me. He pushing daddy out the way. So if Damon can handle everything else and I can just make sure Low Man is good, he's, feeling better. Like I've been sleeping in his room with him, trying not to get Damon sick, and I guess that didn't work. But, just being able to have a partner that's going to make sure that other things are handled and things like that makes it so much easier to then balance all my attention on him because he really does want and love to be with his mother, which I adore. I think that's the best thing about being a mother is that unconditional, like I really want to just be around you. I don't care what we're doing. I don't care what you're doing. I was sitting there doing my makeup, getting ready, and he wanted to sit there and be in there and
Oh,
was touching stuff, and I'm sitting there trying to move him out the way so I could hurry up and get done. But it's a beautiful thing just to have somebody there that just he just loves everything about whatever I'm doing, and I think that's just the coolest thing.
and one thing about mothers is just like, especially with us being women in the industry and in the business, is that our job is nonstop. Motherhood is on call first time. I don't have kids. I just got a nephew. My nephew's been welcomed into the world, and he's
Oh.
already starting to suck his thumb and everything. And he's spoiled. He already knows which parent he wants to
Mm-hmm.
go to. He's already attentive to his mom. And then sometimes he'll want his dad. So I'm just like the up and down. I said, uh-huh. I told my brother, "Hey, he's got your personality now. He
Mm-hmm.
definitely got your personality." So family and life. I had to ask you that because I know Dame does the fitness.
Mm-hmm.
You do the beauty as well too. And you also do training as well
Mm-hmm.
too. So for us Black women, because I know that there's been a whole conversation, this is girl talk, about
Yes.
healthcare and the system. What are your thoughts on what's going on in legislative and them taking away rights to women's bodies and things like that and that nature?
I think that the I think honestly, I think we've got too many people in a lot of these legislative positions that aren't up to date. They're a little too old, and not that you can't be older and still understand what's going on and still be progressive, but I think a lot of them are stuck in where they were at our age and younger and things like that, and they still think that's how the world functions. That's how things are still operating, and they don't really see. They almost have like rose-colored glasses on. They don't really see the reality of the situation. Is that a lot of these people don't have the opportunities to get the kind of healthcare that you think is just out there ready and waiting for people. So you have a lot of people that won't go to the doctor because they don't know how much that bill is going to be, and they don't really want to know what might be wrong with them, because then that might lead to, it's something serious, versus, I just ignored it, I don't have to worry about it, and things like that. And I think we have to have a level of healthcare to where that you can at least get base, like with dental care, like you can
Come
go
on.
in for your cleaning every 6 months. There should be a way that we can have it to where you can go in and get a basic checkup every 6 months or so that you have a level of at least, like, okay, I'm okay. If there's something
Right.
serious that goes on, then yes, there might be something more that you need done. But at least to get like the general checkup, and that shouldn't be something that should cost you an arm and a leg just to get a general checkup, or you shouldn't be afraid, am I going to be able to pay for the copay or whatever it is, for just something that should just be there to keep you healthy, to make sure that everything is going okay in your body. And you shouldn't be worried about, can I afford to go to this appointment, or am I going to have to just hope it's not nothing bad and serious and things like that.
Now, it's funny you mentioned that because in 2021, 55.1% of non-Hispanic Blacks in comparison to 73.2% of non-Hispanic whites used private health insurance. So it is important that you make sure that your insurance is updated, that you are
Mm-hmm.
going with the right providers, because our doctors are definitely making sure that they do everything possible to take care of us. And there are some doctors out there who are just not on it, not equipped, up to date, like she just mentioned. And that is very important, especially for us as people of color. Now, those numbers are alarming at people of color who do not have proper health care and insurance as well, too. And I talked about it with Dane the last time he was here. I said, why is it that Black men are afraid to go to the doctor?
Mm-hmm.
It was my guess, and I think I touched on it with Dame as well too. But it's so great. We as the women, we're doing what we can. We're not afraid to go to the doctors and see
Yeah.
what is wrong and see what the issue is. Where some Black men are still stuck in that mindset, like Shayla just mentioned, where is, I don't want to go to the doctor. I don't want to find nothing wrong. I don't want to talk
Mm-hmm.
about it.
Yep.
Black men, I'm gonna need you to understand that we are not your enemy. The wives, the girlfriends, the sisters, the nieces, the aunties, all of the women in the family, we are making sure that you guys be around for us as well too, as well as your children. We are encouraging you to go out here and get checkups. And I opened up the show talking about Dexter King, who was
Yeah.
the youngest son of
Yeah.
Dr. Martin Luther King. He passed away from pancreatic cancer. We know that cancer, diabetes, all of these things are taking away Black people. These are things that are within the Black community as a whole. And I know my brother has diabetes. My mom has it. It is no joke. And then watching them having to test their blood sugar and everything, blood glucose level. And then when their sugar drops, you have to get them something to get it right back where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So this is no joke. We as people of color, we definitely have to make sure that we are taking precautions to take care of ourselves. Especially with the election right around the corner, like this is going to be a crazy next few couple of
It
months.
is definitely.
So what's going to be going on in legislative with healthcare for us as people of color as a collective is very, 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 very important. So make sure that you are staying on top of that. Now it says 42.7% of non-Hispanic Blacks in comparison to 34.6% of non-Hispanic whites relying on Medicaid or public health insurance. It is important that you make sure that you stay on top of your insurance, keep it up to date. Now, people like life insurance, I'm not about to pass away, but listen,
Yeah, that's
this is
very important.
something that we have to be. What did our girl T.S. Madison say? Stay ready so you do not have to get
You just
ready.
never know.
Because Exactly. What's going on right now in healthcare for people of color, we have to make sure that we are staying on top of that. Exactly.
Yeah.
Because there's barely any doctors, and we've seen TikTok videos of the nurses, numbers going up in
Mm,
flu and so many things. Make sure that you guys are staying on top of that. My people, people of color, black people, us, we have the most health issues, and that is important
yes.
that we stay on top of it. So definitely get checked up, black men,
Please.
the wives and the
It's not
girlfriends,
scary.
do
It's
it.
not, you know, 9 times out of 10, they're probably not going to find anything wildly, like, hopefully not wildly egregious wrong with
Right,
you, but they may find something that, oh, like this is why I've been having chronic pain, or this is why this is, happening to me. And then you can get the proper care instead of just going around and just hoping that you feel better, or taking pain relievers every day and hoping that that maybe will solve your problem. it
right.
it doesn't hurt to just go and say, hey, what's going on with me, doctor? Can you figure out what might help this issue, so I don't have to sit here all the time and be in pain and be worried about what's going to happen next and things like that. And like you said, life insurance is important to have that. You don't want to be, I know you don't want to think about, oh, I'm going to pass. What am I going to, what needs to happen? But there have been, I mean, people older than us that you end up seeing them pass, and now the families are stuck with bills. You're trying to figure out how you're going to pay for
Yeah,
this and that. And it's like, just because you think that, oh, it's not going to be that bad, or oh, I don't have that many bills, or whatever the case may be, you don't know what's going to happen when you pass. You don't know what they might have to pay for you to be able to, function. You don't want to leave all that on your family. You don't want to leave all that debt on your family, and now they're struggling. They're trying to figure out how they can get back up after already having to deal with the loss of you, and now they're trying to dig themselves out of a hole. And you just don't want to leave your family with that kind of thing on top of grief.
absolutely. So black men, we are encouraging you. Some black men are stepping up to the plate and saying, "Hey, I need to go to the doctor. I need to go see what's wrong."
Mm-hmm.
And they think that sometimes that they can just drink water or, like you said, take painkillers and it'll just
And
go
it's just
away and I'll be all
fine.
right. No, you got to make sure that you are getting checked up, fellas. That is important. And women, we can do it because I know my mom was telling me about a mammogram and she
Yeah.
hates doing it, but this is important. Make sure that you guys are staying on
It's one of
top
those
of
things.
your
It's
health.
like, do you really want to do it? No. Is it gonna suck? Probably. Like
Yeah.
prostate exams, I understand that that's probably not gonna be something that you really want to get done. But like you were just saying, Dr. King's son, just, you said it was prostate
Pan-
cancer, right? I'm sorry,
pancreatic. Yeah.
pancreatic cancer. I'm sorry, but yeah, like you just want to get those things checked up on, because maybe, who's to say that maybe if maybe there was a way that maybe they could have caught it earlier, or maybe it was too late. But if you don't get the general checkups, then when something major happens, there could have been something beforehand that we could have done. Maybe there was a warning sign beforehand that could have been like, oh, hey, maybe we should get you on this kind of medication or that, so that way we can monitor that. Or you may have a family history of that, and you might want to make sure you're monitoring it, so that way it doesn't get to that point. Because I know, like, I think Damon said, like, his family has a history of like diabetes and stuff like that, and like high blood pressure. You don't want to
Girl,
wait till
my
you get it, and then all of a sudden now you're trying to play catch up. You want to make sure, if they notice any signs early on, that you're getting that out the way. Get it out the way. Don't worry about, oh, I don't want to be on the medication, or I don't want to take all this and that. You either want to do that, or you want to be struggling and trying to, like, I mean, there's natural ways to help that, but at the same time, if you let it go on so long, you're going to need that medication. You're going to need something to bring it down.
don't. Right. All right, fashion dolls. So we touched on healthcare. We've worked on the inside. Now it's time to work on the outside. As you can see, we are both two amazing, beautiful looking women up here. And it takes a village to keep us together.
Yes.
So let's talk beauty. Shayla, where did you develop the passion to do makeup from? At what age?
Um, Geez, I think really it started maybe when I did my first pageant. I'll say first pageant. The only pageant I ever did was the Miss Teen DC pageant, and I had always kind of been kind of girly and stuff like that, and into things like that. But when I did that pageant is when, like, my dad and them let me put on like makeup for like,
Yeah.
really put on makeup and stuff like that. And I got my hair done. I had the dress and it was, so much fun. I got to like get really dolled up and it was kind of like, okay, this is kind of like cool. And I got to keep the makeup that they bought me. So I kind of like started experimenting with it at home and my dad would let me put on like, this was in like maybe like middle school going into high school. It's like the very end of like middle school going into high school. So it was like, I could put a little bit of color in my eyes. And it was, I mean, I wish I could show pictures. It was rough. Any of my friends that are on here that have seen me when we were in high school, it was yellow, like bright yellow on one eye, bright green on the other. There was no mascara, there was no liner, there was no nothing. There was no eyebrows done. It was just I'm putting powder on my eye and I'm going to school and I just know I look good. And I'm just like, I God bless my friends for still being my friends because I know my face looked crazy in high school, but I just kept going. It was so much fun to just experiment with the colors and things like that. I just kept going throughout high school, doing it on my friends, doing it on myself. I would help because me and Damon met in the band, so I would help the band dancers do their makeup. I was just anywhere, anytime I could find a time to do some makeup. Even in college, when we went to college together and we're in the band and I couldn't march in the band, I was doing the dancers' makeup. I was on the bus with them. They was like, all right, we need help because we got about 15 girls and we all got to get our makeup done so we can get on this field. So I'm sitting there, all right, we doing smoky eyes real quick. We throwing on the glitter real quick because it's like, we got to get this show on the road. We got to get going. These girls need to look the same, but it needs to be fast
Right.
because we're on the bus and we're about to pull up to the school. So come on, get it ready. So it was just that kind of excitement of like being able to do a look and then see it come together and you're like, okay, that's kind of nice. Or you start putting on lashes and you start seeing
Oh,
like the different lipsticks and you're like, okay, maybe I could, throw a little glitter on or, you start seeing all the different like fun colors that come in palettes and you're like, okay, I need that one. Oh, and then I need a neutral one too. Because then when I don't really want color, I need neutral. It started taking over my whole life. I was just going in. I started going into Claire's, icing, anywhere in Target, Walmart, anywhere I can find a palette, some makeup. I don't care who makes it. If it's got the color I like, I'm taking it home with me.
now who are some of your beauty influences? Because
Um,
I see you, we both are kind of similar. We
mhm,
like color, but
mhm.
sometimes I always go for the monochromatic color.
Yes, I like doing that when I know I just need to throw on something quick. Because then when I start
Yeah.
getting into color, I start like taking a little too long with my looks. And so I sit there and like, if I'm trying to add like blues and greens, I'm thinking of like how I can layer it and stuff like that. So sometimes I'm just like, look, girl, just throw on some brown and some sparkle and call it a day because you're going to sit here for 2 hours trying to figure out what you want to do. And this YouTube video is about to be a little too long for YouTube. So, but I mean, I take it back to like old school beauty YouTube. So like Queen of Blending, X Sparkage, um,
Mm.
gosh, there's a bunch of them. I have a couple people I love. Makeup by Namisa. She's a Dutch YouTuber, and I absolutely love her. I met her because I randomly found a video where she was doing a contest, and it was like if you do like a sunset inspired look, if you win, she was gonna send you some eyeshadows. I ended up winning, and from then on, this was like in college, and from then on, I've like been best friends with her. Like we talk back and forth. It's just like I love her style, her whole aesthetic, everything about her is just bold and like beautiful makeup. Like I love that she's not afraid of the color. She's probably one of my favorite. Her and Queen of Blending are probably one of my favorite influencers to see do their makeup because they just don't care. Queen of Blending has like shaved off her eyebrows. She does crazy. Like I don't know if you've seen the meme where it's like it's supposed to be April Fool's makeup, but it's
Oh
like
yeah.
she put on like three different lash. Everybody thinks it's like serious makeup, but it was supposed to be an April Fool's look, and I just love that she just doesn't care. She's gonna do something wacky, crazy, and if you take it seriously, that's on you. If you don't, it was just fun, and I think that's what makeup should be. It shouldn't be so like
Yeah.
serious. Like you can have fun with it. If you want to do one eye green like I was doing and one eye yellow, and you want to go out like that, who's to say that that's not beautiful if you feel good in it? Like it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be symmetrical. The shading don't gotta be all perfect. Like I've come to realize that makeup should be art. And if you're trying too
Exactly.
hard to make it look like a thing, then it kind of loses that artistic power to it.
And beauty has definitely transcended since the ages. Like makeup has definitely changed from the 90s up
Yes.
until now, but those looks that you've seen in the 90s with the overlined lip,
Hmm.
they're starting to come back, or what we call the brownie lip. We're starting to see, of course, winged eyes. We've never had that back in the day. That
Hmm.
wasn't even really a thing. And I've seen people stack their lashes and do
Yep.
so many things. Like beauty has come such a long way. Whereas for women of color, for black women, we only had a certain shade of makeup. You could only get that one
Yes.
shade. And even for models backstage at fashion shows, like Naomi Campbell, we've heard them say they've had to go, and I'm pretty sure you've heard of it, Shayla, Fashion Fair. Who hasn't heard of
Yes.
Fashion Fair? It's been
I
around
used to
for
work at
years.
Macy's. I used to work at the Dior makeup counter. Let me tell you, the amount of people that will come into a Macy's looking for some older makeup, and you got to
Mm,
try to like look, ma'am. I know you've been on Estee and Fashion Fair, and you've been with them. You've been with or you look. I understand Bobbi Brown is your, but like there is so much more out here that I can show you. Like I
yes.
understand that's your go-tos, but there's so much more now.
And you got Anastasia, you got Morphe, you've got Tarte, you've got all of these brands
Yes.
compared to back then. But Iman broke the
Yes.
barrier. Iman was the first one to break the barrier. Iman and Naomi Sims were the one to break the barrier for women of color to give shades that were in our complexion. Because
Yes.
for the black girl, there was only one specific shade that you could go to, or
Mm-hmm.
you would have to bring your own shades and mix them together so that it would fit your skin tone.
Yeah.
Backstage, models literally had to do that. Whereas, thank God for Rihanna, thank God for her, she broke
Yes.
the mold and gave us 50 foundation shades to complement every skin tone.
Yeah.
Whereas now you have so many brands that are doing it as well to make up forever. There's
Oh yeah.
NYX. I know Lady Gaga has her line, House Labs. I
Yes.
haven't tried it. I've heard good things about it. But all of these brands like Anastasia, ABH, they are starting to be more shade inclusive. Because for
Definitely.
the black girl, for us, we only had like one
Mm-hmm.
shade. And that one shade, you have to make it work and find something to
Yeah.
blend so that it would miss
Yep.
our
And
complexion.
that's one thing I loved about working at Ulta was that I got to see all the different brands and like really get to see how you can see where some have still kind of missed the mark on like
Yeah.
maybe when they had their highlighters, like they come out with a highlighter collection, you're kind of like, okay, well, I mean, these are like pretty colors. Hey, Dave. But they're like pretty colors, but none of these are really gonna be good for my skin. And I love indie brands like the this one brand I absolutely love that I have their highlighter on right now. It's in pumpkin spice. They're Baby Bat Beauty. Absolutely love them. They're like a goth beauty brand.
I got to check it out.
Oh my gosh, I have bought so many of their liquid lipsticks. The colors are phenomenal. The formula is amazing. It smells like cupcakes, and they have this like pumpkins, like this highlighter I have on right now. It's like this
Girl,
beautiful.
I thought that was fancy because Rihanna, that looks like
It
trophy
is.
wife.
It is called pumpkin spice, and it is my favorite highlighter. I will never ever get rid of this highlighter. I don't care how old it is. I know certain makeups you're supposed to know. I'm keeping this pumpkin spice because it's not something that they, I think, still have around. But I have another highlight. I have so much stuff from them. I have highlighters. I have lipsticks. I've given away lipsticks because I had so many, and I was like, I literally don't use all these colors. I just was buying them so much because I was so invested. Like this company, the colors, like their liquid lipsticks would be blue, purple, sparkly black, like a deep magenta, like this, just things that you weren't finding in the store. Green, like like I know, who is it? Tarte had the. Is it Tarte that
Yes.
has the green? They had it, but it was like if you don't want to spend that much money, or if you want to support a different brand, if maybe you don't, want to support like a big brand like Tarte, the fact that they had green, blue, purple, I mean, they have like the different shades of oranges and like nudes and pinks. I was like, this is a brand that I can get behind because they really do try to cater to everybody. And they would show the lipstick on like a pale person, and they would also show it on somebody about my complexion. Maybe she was a little darker, so it gave me an idea of what the color would look like. And I appreciated that from a goth brand because you normally don't see that. You normally don't see them swatching it on darker skin. And I was like, thank you, because now I can see what this would closely look like to me, not on somebody that is 2 shades lighter than me, and I don't really know if it's gonna look as good on my skin tone. I love them. They're just amazing.
And see, I'm glad you touched on that because as women of color, for black women, for us, for lipstick shades, which music video was it? It was Mary J. Blige. And I'm pretty sure you know which
Mm-hmm.
video I'm talking about. Where she's not gonna cry. She had the black lipstick.
That
And
color.
I was reading somewhere in a hair magazine that Mary was just like, she pushed the envelope because a lot of women started wearing that color out on the
Mm-hmm.
streets, like just random. And I'm just like, if I'm to do a color like that, would it suit my skin tone?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a question that a lot of women ask when it comes to picking out lip colors
Yes.
for their skin tone. I've done red here the past for the Christmas holiday. I said, okay, it's been a minute since I did a red lip because I always do a glossy
Mm-hmm.
lip or a
It's something about
nude.
a glossy
Yes.
lip that just it just hits every time. The glossy lip is just, you can't beat that. But I mean, I used to have people at Dior when I would work there that would come up and would be afraid to wear a certain lip color because they would be like, "Oh, I don't think this is gonna look good on me." And I was like, "Well, it's not really about like you gotta like the Nicki Minaj." My perfect example I always go to is that Nicki Minaj MAC
Mm,
lipstick that came out that everybody wanted to wear, and I love everybody, but that was not a color that was everybody's cup of tea. But you can make it work if you know what to do. A lot of people were just throwing it on and thinking like, oh yeah, I should just be able to wear it like Nicki Minaj. I should just be able to throw it on my lips and I'm gonna be good. And it's like, well, you're not Nicki's complexion. I'm like, there are rules to makeup. Like you might have to put on a little darker lip liner for this to look good on your skin. You don't want to be ashy lipped. So if you don't want to be ashy lipped, go ahead and take you some dark purple liner. Go ahead and
yes,
fill it in a little bit and then put that lipstick on, and then you won't look so crazy. Sometimes you can't just throw on the orange and think that that's going to look good because it might take a little bit of trial and error trying this lip liner with this lipstick combination and things like that. And I think that's where a lot of people kind of get like scared of makeup when they have to experiment, when they have to find, kind of like with your hair, what's going to work for your hair. Yes, you may be
yes,
able to, see somebody else use a product and like, oh wow, that product is great. It may not work for your hair. Same thing with perfume. Just because it smells great on them doesn't mean that on you it's going to be the exact same. So you really got to go, okay, let me put it on. All right, no, that doesn't look good. Let me try it with this. Let me mix it with this. Maybe I need to put on a gloss with it that's a little darker. That way I can have like a deeper tone to the color, but I can still wear the color. Because I even bought that lipstick. I bought it I bought so many MAC lipsticks and I ended up giving them all away because I'm like, half of them, I just don't, the colors aren't colors that I reach for every day. So it was like, it just felt like a waste. And so I would give it to people that I know you're going to wear this color more than I am. I don't want to buy a color just because it's a popular color or it was like the new
right.
thing that came out and then I'm wasting money. So I always, if I notice that it's been sitting in my collection for a little too long, okay, here, you know how much makeup I gave my niece? I was like, look, girl, take it. Last time she came visit, I was like, take this palette, take this lipstick. I don't wear this. I barely touch this. I don't even know when's the last time I picked up this palette. Take it, please, because if I don't use it, it's just gonna sit here. And I think I don't want to be that kind of wasteful beauty person because I love influencers, but it can be jarring to see
Yes,
how much that they have that they won't get rid of. And it's been years and they just have a collection of things that they're not touching, that no one's using, that now is just sitting there. And somebody could be profiting. Somebody could really benefit from this. Somebody that really wants to get into makeup could be using this because you haven't even opened it. You get so much free makeup. I think that we as like beauty influencers and people that are going to be talking about beauty on the internet need to be kind of transparent and be like, yeah, not everything needs to be kept. You don't need to have all the
yes.
palettes. Pick your select few that you really like and kind of roll with that. You don't need every drop that Juvia's Place comes out with. I know we love Juvia's Place. They got, a great range for our skin tones and their colors pop against our skin. But do you really need another
Oh,
palette?
yeah.
Is it really gonna, help you out, or are you just buying it because you saw your favorite influencer putting it up on theirs?
And the very first eyeshadow palette that I got was Welcome to the Pleasure Dome for Makeup Revolution. And it's got like it's like a corset type thing, leather. And I said, this has
Yep.
all the colors that I love. I love monochromatic because the dress that I'm wearing today is like a liquid
I saw it.
metallic
It's
type thing.
beautiful.
Thank you,
Beautiful dress.
girl. And I said, if we're gonna do something this color, throw something off. So go with like a chocolate
Mm.
color eye. I always aim for the gold. You can never go wrong. So I
Oh
always
yeah,
play
no.
it safe. And then when I want to go crazy and I'm wearing something colorful, because my mom used to do that. I think I'm starting to pick up my mom's habits. She would always wear blouses a certain color and then she would match her eyeshadow to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I know my grandmother would always do her eyebrows. So that's kind of how I learned to pick up and do makeup from. And it just took off on my own. But some of my top three beauty influencers, of course, Shayla here, Makeup by Shayla, and then Jackie
Oh
Anna.
yeah.
Love Jackie Anna.
I don't how I forgot about Jackie. I love Jackie. I love her her now home, like her home
Ooh.
content she's making. I just love watching her just clean her house. It's just so soothing just to watch her just be soft in her own home with all her, like, it just looks so luxurious, and I love that.
And she's got her candle
Yes,
brand too. And I ordered like the sample thing and they all smell so good.
she's
So
got an
Jackie Anna,
yeah, she's got an
um,
amazing thing.
Carly Bible is another one of my favorites. I got her palette for my birthday the previous year before, and I said I told my cousin I have to have this palette, so I got it for my birthday. And I was in the store and I called my mom. I said, "Mom, can I get it?" And she gave me money. She said, "If you want to get that palette, go ahead and get that palette." And then when she seen it, I started using some of the colors that I wore in that palette on her when she went to homecoming. She was like, "This is pretty. This is nice." I
Yes.
said, "See?"
Hmm. Yeah, you start to realize like some of these palettes are really nice. Like they, look like Cam and Fam. I haven't heard of them.
I gotta check them out, Rizzy. Are they beauty
Yeah,
influencers?
I haven't heard of them. But yeah, I love when you find an influencer that is still like kind of humble, but like you could tell that
Yeah.
they care about really their brand and what they are doing in the beauty industry, and they're not just trying to sell you like another product that they've come out with or another collab that they're doing. It's like no, they really. Oh, she used to be. I like mom vloggers. I think they're like so fun. I love like all the little like when they make their little recipes and stuff like
Mm.
that. Something about seeing like the moms just showing off like how they cook and stuff in their house. I think that is just the content that I love now for some reason. I guess being a mom now, you're like, oh, I can take that or I can use that, and okay, let me remember this recipe because her kids like that, so let me go ahead and see what I can make with that. But yeah, I love watching influencers evolve, like seeing Jackie from when she was specifically doing beauty content on YouTube to now her doing more like kind of
Home
like
decor. Yeah.
yeah, like decor, home, just kind of like the whole thing of beauty. It's not just her doing makeup now; it's her whole life is the beauty of it. And I think that's such a good way to show how you can transition from just being a beauty influencer, as in doing makeup and tutorials and things like that, to being kind of more of like a, I guess, a lifestyle influencer, where now it's more so how I'm living, how I, go about my day. And if you want to live like this, here's some tips, here's what I use, and things like that. I think that's a really cool thing to see, like some of our older beauty YouTubers, like, oh, look at you, like, getting into your flow of like, this is where you want to be at in life. And now you're here and now you get to enjoy the fruits of your labor.
Yes. And that's the beauty of it. You know, your creativity is put to the test, your task. And to be able to embrace it and show it with other people is even more incredible.
Yeah.
She's amazing. Now, I'm going to ask you this question, Shayla. Would
Yes.
you consider starting a YouTube channel, sort of like a mommy? Because your husband has one. Dane focuses more so on his music. But
Yes.
for you, would you start one to focus more so on mommy goals and beauty, and so many things?
I actually have one I haven't touched probably in God, like a year more. Well, I don't even know. God, what is even the name of my YouTube channel? I don't even remember. It might be Shayla Crayola, like my page. I don't even know. I haven't like sat down and recorded a video in so long. So I'm like, I would love to, but I don't even know where to start. Do I start back doing tutorials? Like, what is even popular on, I guess, like trying to figure out what would be
Yeah.
something that would be popular for people to see? Because I do have, like, when I would do stuff on Instagram, like the transitions, like just doing makeup and then doing like a fun transition, I would have, like, my friends and all that being like, oh, I love it and stuff like that. But then it's like, how do I turn that into long form content? How do I then take that to YouTube? And then, do you want to see a tutorial? Do you want to just see me do like crazy looks? Do you want to see more natural, like, every day, something that you can quick do as a mom? Like, it's just kind of figuring out what that niche kind of would be if I jumped back into YouTube. I think that's what's kind of holding me back, is like, do I do like the same kind of content, or do I try to switch it up and make it, like you said, like more of like a mommy and me kind of thing? Like, here's
Yeah.
my lifestyle, but then also here's some beauty stuff and things like that.
Because moms need time too, believe it or not. And I was telling my mom this. I said, you do so much. We're all grown up now. We're all,
Mm-hmm.
adults now.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to do anymore. You take that time and you focus more so on yourself. For the moms out there, self-care is
Yeah.
most important. So make sure that because as women, we give so much of ourselves to the world. Ladies, make sure that you are taking and pouring into yourself as well too. So that means if you want to go to Ulta or Sephora and splurge a little bit, I know Dame is somewhere like, where is she going with this? Throwing rocks at the screen. Like, yes, if you want to go and splurge a little bit in Sephora or Ulta,
Mm-hmm.
definitely go in there, reward yourself, and treat yourself, because beauty
Definitely.
makes us
Mm-hmm.
feel good. And I love makeup. I love hair care. I love getting my nails done. I've always been that way since I was young. And my mom was just like, you always buy a new Maybelline was the first thing. Start off right in the drugstore, and then
Yep.
I started learning about all these different brands, Makeup Revolution, ABH, and so many other brands, Chanel, Dior, all of these other brands out here as well too. Charlotte
Yeah.
Tilbury, it's
Don't even
so
get me
many. The list goes
started on
on.
Dior. Man, when I was working there, I spent so much of my paycheck buying Dior. I will be a diehard. You can't tell me anything bad about Dior. Like, the fact that I got to like work with the brand and really see how, as a brand,
Oh,
they do really care, like their backstage stuff, like just the detail that Dior puts into their products made me really appreciate it. Because before, you just kind of see, oh, it's like Chanel, it's an expensive
yeah,
brand, but you don't really know why. And then when, like, you hear the amount of detail that Monsieur Dior puts into his, like, why he uses the bow, or why he uses this print on his bottles, and then you're like, that's so much attention to detail. And then, like, you go to the trainings and they're talking about how, like, they do the perfumes and the notes and the things like that. And then I follow their page and I watch their fashion shows, and I'm like, the attention to detail that they have for each fashion show, and the craftsmanship, and just I'm just stunned at how, I don't know how I didn't realize that this much attention went into a brand like this. I thought it was just kind of like, oh, they just slapped like a $30 price tag on a lipstick, and now we're supposed to just pay for it. But then it's like, no, they really do put a lot of thought into these products. They're not just, I'm sure and other brands have similar things where it's like, I can see that they put in a lot of thought and time, and I really do prefer that from a brand, where I can see the the um the care that you put into the product. When I know that it's not something that you're just slapping a label on and trying to get us to buy quick,
exactly.
I feel like I don't mind spending $30 on a Dior lip glow, because I know that this is a product that y'all have thought about for a while. It hasn't just been something y'all just threw up on the table. And I love that lip glow. That $30 lip balm, man, look, that stayed in my purse all the time. It was such a great lip balm, and the color it gave you on your lips was phenomenal. But it's not something that's a necessity, so it's not something I go out and buy all the time. $30 is, for a lip balm, it can be a little, pricey. But I will say luxury is something that I will splurge on. I've noticed that it actually is kind of worth it sometimes.
And it's so good. Like Patrick Starr has his collection out called One Size,
Mm-hmm.
and come to find out, Beyonce uses his setting spray. And the
Yes.
setting spray, she had a show, and it was raining,
And that
and the
makeup didn't
setting
move
at all.
at
Now
all.
that's good
Yeah.
quality in a product, and that's what I look for when it comes to makeup products and beauty products. Another one that I like as well too, I love NYX. I use
Yes.
some of their setting sprays as well too. They have amazing setting
Mm-hmm.
sprays, and sometimes I'll go to Maybelline's Master FX setting sprays as well too. And their makeup, your makeup will stay in place.
Yeah. Some of
Like
these
mine, glowy, dewy all throughout the day.
Yes. Some of these drugstore brands, like NYX, used to be like the the drugstore. Like it was like if you got that, like
Yes,
that was like cheap. Like you was going to the beauty supply store and you was getting NYX, you was getting the butter gloss, you was getting, stuff like that. And it was like, the quality, like I will say I think NYX has upped their quality since
yes, for
back in the
sure.
day, where like now they have, gosh, so many products that from them that I love using. Like I really like their setting sprays, but one of my favorite things is what are they? The milk was it the little like crayon
Milk
sticks
lip
where
gloss
no,
or
like
something.
like
Yeah.
the eyeshadow sticks where it was like you had the white one, the black one where you
Oh
could use
yeah.
it as like
I
an
know what you're talking
eyeshadow
about.
base or an eyeliner or whatever you needed to be. Like that used to be my go-to. I would get the white one, I'd put it on my eye as a primer, and then my eyeshadows would be flawless, bright colors, everything would stand out really nicely. And I think that cost like $3, $4, and it's stuff like that to where you see like it doesn't have to be wildly expensive to really get the kind of like quality that you need from
Exactly.
makeup. It doesn't have to be $15 for an eyeliner for you to really get a good black or a good white or a good pink or something like that. If you really want color, there's so many brands out here now. You literally can just walk into Ulta and just take your pick. They've got from high end to low end to all the in between. If you want, you can go in there and just go crazy. And I used to do that with my paycheck there too. I need to stop working at beauty stores because they take all my money, all of it.
Girl, my cousin said the same thing the first time I ever put her on to Ulta Beauty because she came down from New York. And I said, let's go to Ulta because we used to go shopping all the time. And I
Mm-hmm.
put her on the Ulta because I went there with my girlfriends previously. And she was like, my God, there's so many makeup brands. What do I get, cuzzo? And I said, whatever brand you want,
Mm-hmm.
whatever brand you see fit. I mean, you mentioned Estee Lauder. They have Estee Lauder. They have
Yep.
Tarte. They have Neutrogena. Of course, the Revlon. Revlon, back in the day, it was there only one shade for one woman of color. But
Mm-hmm.
now, what I love about it is that it's extended and now it's for every skin tone. So I
Yeah.
use a little bit of Revlon. Even Almay. Almay has been
Yeah,
around
they've
for years
come up. Yeah.
and is now inclusive to show shades for women of color as well too. Because I remember going to CVS not too long ago and I said, they got a shade of Almay foundation in my collection?
Mm-hmm.
Because back in the day, it was only
Yeah,
for
no.
one specific
Almay,
tone.
you may get like 5 shades and it's gonna be one that's deep dark.
Yes,
It was
but we
always
see,
deep dark, and it's like, okay, where's like who, like how many people do you expect this to fit? Because they expect it to go from me to you to in between, and it's like I don't think it's gonna fit all of us. It's not shade matching that well.
and CoverGirl, what I love is that CoverGirl, and I'm pretty sure you remember this, back in the day, you could go and you could test the makeup right
Mm-hmm.
there in the store to see if it suit your skin tone.
Yeah.
They've stopped doing that. Whereas now you can go to Sephora and Ulta and they can
Yeah.
customize and match whatever foundation shade that will fit your skin tone. And it's like a plethora of brands. You won't even know which one to get because there's so many out
That's the beauty of it. Like I tried Dermablend because I know that they're good at like hiding tattoos and things like that. So I was like, well,
here.
I
Oh
want to
yeah.
see what is Dermablend like. Like what does that, feel like on the skin and how is that? I've tried Estee Lauder because I Estee Lauder, their bronzer is probably one of my favorite
Girl, that bronze
bronzers.
goddess.
I don't know what they put in their bronzer. I don't know what it is, but every time I put it on my skin, I'm just like, I don't like it. Just it. it contours everything perfectly. It's got like the perfect like it blends in. I don't Estee Lauder can honestly probably do no wrong in my eyes, other than maybe some of their fragrances. I'm not a big fan of, but Estee Lauder as like with their foundations, like the what is like the class? It's like the one that like everybody comes in for their wedding and would want that foundation because it supposedly had like a
Oh,
16-hour wear. Everybody was like, I need this for my wedding. And like it has like a flawless finish. And now they've got it in like 20 to 30 different shades. You can get it from like pale to deep dark and all the in-betweens. And I love that as an older brand, they have still managed to keep up with the times and make sure that they don't fall behind. I think they just came out with like an even darker bronzer now too. So now you can get it in a deeper color if you really wanted to. And it's like the fact that they're still evolving and Estee Lauder is how old as a brand, that I think that shows that we can't allow any new brands that come out to say, oh, well, I can't, we can't create that right now, or it's not possible for us to do that. It's like, look, if Estee Lauder is willing to go ahead and push the envelope and do what they need to do to get the shades out, then you can at least give us more than two or three dark shades in a
yeah.
foundation.
Now, the we talk about over the top, over the edge beauty. If you really like over the top, over the edge beauty, then you will love Pat McGrath is one of my favorites. I remember seeing Angela Bassett on the red carpet at one of these
Mm-hmm.
award shows, and she had some highlighter that was similar to yours, Shayla, and I said, oh my God, I have to get a glow like that. When she turned and I
Mm-hmm.
see the highlight, the strobing, I said, oh my God, this is beautiful. Come to find out it was Pat McGrath. And I seen the price of Pat McGrath. I said, I think I'm gonna stick with my Wet n Wild
Yeah, I love Pat, but
precious petals.
the palettes, I see her palettes and I'm like, I
They're
can't.
so
I,
beautiful.
they are
Oh,
so, and it like this, I'm eventually gonna get something. I don't know what, I'm gonna get like one palette and that's gonna be my palette. And I'm gonna never get rid of it and it's gonna stay with me forever. Because I'm gonna spend that kind of money, I'm not giving that one away. That's gonna stay in my collection. It may not even get open. It may just be in the box and just look, be like a staple piece. Like I bought the Pat McGrath palette. I did get one, yes.
so beautiful. And it's so pigmented and
It
rich. And when
is.
she does the reels
I
where
know
it's
that's
swiping,
what I was like, it's
it's
so
so good.
buttery. Like you just see her wiping on her hand and it's just like I just want it so bad. That
Especially
her and
her
Danessa
eyeshadow.
Myricks. Danessa Myricks, her makeup, I don't know what magic she created in those little pigment tubes where she mixes the colors and then she just starts patting it on people's eyes and then their cheeks. And I'm like, it's just these little tubes of color. I don't know what she put in them, but like it works on everything. It works on your eyes, your lips, your cheeks. You can literally put it on your eyebrows. Like if you want to color your lashes, it's like this is what I want makeup to be. I want it to be so versatile that
Yeah.
I can take this tube and do like six different things with it. And then I feel like if it's $30, then I've gotten the bang for my buck. If I can use it as a lipstick, if I can use it as an eyeshadow and a blush, that right there is enough for me. I'm willing to pay whatever for that.
And that's good quality
Mm-hmm.
makeup right there, where it's multi-use, where you can do. Lady Gaga even has colorful
Yep.
eyeliners. I'm looking at all of the beauty icons out here, like Chloe Bailey. She wears a lot of colorful
Mm-hmm.
eyeliner, like you, Shayla, and blues and so many things. Like beauty has definitely changed the game. Pat McGrath and the Nessa Myrick brands like that are definitely changing the beauty game overall.
Yeah.
And we're starting to see a lot of makeup artists incorporate them. Right now, what's going on is Paris Fashion Week. So I can't wait to see the deets of the models and what they're doing backstage with makeup. Like I seen at the Schiaparelli show today, one of the models had like this thing over her face and it was the hair. So it was crazy. They're doing so much with technology and beauty. It's
Yeah.
crazy right now.
And I
So
appreciate seeing how backstage we're seeing a lot more um like women of color and people of color in
yeah,
general doing like the hair, doing the
come on,
makeup. So it's not
talk about it.
and I like I said, I think like going back to Dior, like seeing how they do their backstage and how their makeup and they make sure that they have people that are going to look like you, to help you make sure that your makeup looks good. They understand that it would make more sense for a woman of color to try to do your makeup. I mean, while we should expect all makeup artists to be able to do everybody's makeup, no matter what skin color you are, you should be able to shade match anybody. It shouldn't be, oh, I don't know how to shade match her because she's not my complexion. It shouldn't matter. Same thing with hair. As a hairstylist, it shouldn't be, oh, I don't know how to do that person's hair because it's not the hair type I have. No, you should be a hairstylist. You should know how to do hair in general. It shouldn't matter what the texture is. If I am a certain complexion, it doesn't matter. You should be able to shade match me and find a color and find the styles and all of that work for me. If you're going to call yourself an MUA, then you can't just start to put yourself in a box and say, oh, I'm an MUA for this specific type of person. No, it should be, I can do whoever needs to come into my chair, whoever needs their makeup done, I got you. If this person's busy and I got to shade match you real quick and I got to throw something on you, then I should be able to pump that out. I shouldn't be sitting there frozen because you're darker than me and now I don't know what to do. And now I'm scared and I'm sitting there like, okay, well, can you go to somebody else? Because I don't know, I don't want to mess you up. No, just find a color. Pick like 3 shades, swipe them on, see which one looks close. It's not like you can't mess up. It's just you got to try. You
Right.
can't be so afraid of picking the wrong color maybe the first time, because we all do it, that you won't even try to do the job and you won't even try to go outside your comfort zone and match people. Because I've had to match people that are pale, that lead like the lightest color that you can find. And I've had to walk around and try to find what could be like completely pale for them. And I don't have that skin tone, but I got to figure out what works for you. Your skin is maybe red, but be super pale. Now I got to go find something that's got kind of like a pink tone to it
Yeah.
to match your skin. You may be yellow. Now I got to go make sure I can find something that's got the yellow in it to match your skin. I can't just say, oh, well, I don't know, this one looks good, let's just go with that. No, I have to do my due diligence and give you what you deserve, just because that's fair to you. It's not fair to you to just go, well, I think this works and I tried one and I don't feel like trying a bunch of other colors, so here, this is going to be okay for you.
And I'm so glad you touched on that because we've seen videos of models literally backstage. One model, she was an ethnic model, and they didn't know how to do her hair
Mm-hmm.
or her makeup. And she broke down in tears, like, this is not me. This doesn't look like me.
Yeah.
And I've even sat with actresses here on this platform. One actress said that they did my makeup so wrong, it was in the wrong complexion and everything. So shade matching is definitely a thing. And I'm so glad that fashion designers and backstage are starting to
Mm-hmm.
get more representation for models of color, because that is a thing. A hairstylist, that's a hairstylist to the models at these international fashion shows like Paris
Yeah.
Fashion Week is going on. They are now backstage going back there doing the models of color's hair, because for Black women, for us as people of color, our hair is definitely, we have so many. You have 3C hair texture,
Mm-hmm.
3A, 4B. I mean, it varies.
Yeah.
Not everybody's hair texture is the same.
And so yeah, you can't put everybody into the same box. Oh, I can, the look is supposed to be a slick back ponytail. You're not going to be able to do a slick back ponytail the same way on everybody. And if
Right.
you are going to call yourself a hairstylist, you have to understand that this person's hair may need something different in order for you to be able to slick it back. And it may not slick back like you think it will. It may still be kind of wavy. It may not be perfectly smooth, and you may not be able to get it like that, and that's okay. But the designer also has to realize that if they're going to have varying people of skin tones, hair textures, ethnicities, you're going to have varying looks in what you want. And if you can't handle that, then it's sad to say you don't need to be hiring these kinds of models, because yeah, the model you picked, she's not going to be able to have a super sleek bun if her hair is natural. And if her hair is coily, it's not going to be that, like, like the girl that has the straight hair. It's not going to be as sleek.
Right.
And you have to be okay with it being slightly different so that she can be comfortable. Because I don't like when you see people like trying to like drastically change somebody's hair, or like pulling and tugging or doing things like that. Even if it's somebody that has straight hair and you're trying to like, like kink it up, like, try to work with the person's hair instead of trying to do things that are going to be more damaging to it. Like, I'm sure she doesn't want her hair teased and ripped out and stuff like that, because now she's got to go home and try to figure out, well, what the heck did they do to my hair? now it was nice, it was straight, and now I don't know what you've done to it, but now it's a rat's nest, and now you're just gonna have me go home and try to figure out how to take this out. You gotta know who you're working with, what they need, and then you've got to try to fit that into the look. Like I think you posted the was it Naomi and who's you just posted it on your page not too long ago. Naomi and somebody did for Paris Fashion Week, and I liked how
Balmain, Naomi
yes,
Campbell closed out.
and
Yeah,
I liked how they had all the guys' hair kind of similar, but it wasn't.
yeah,
You could tell like they tried to keep them all with the same look, but they didn't make them look like it didn't fit them. And I appreciate that, like, because you get some designers where it's like they put the models in looks, and it's like that just doesn't fit their face or whatever, and it kind of
right,
takes away from the outfit when you're trying to like figure out, well, okay, like is the styling kind of throws it off when the model doesn't look like she's excited about it, or the guy doesn't look like he likes his hair, and they're having to walk the runway. Then you can kind of feel that energy, and then it kind of distracts from the clothing, because that's what you really want to see is this fashion. And if the model kind of looks like, okay, I don't even really like how I look, now I want you to be strutting down the runway. I need to know that you look good, and then in this clothes and in your hair, and I want to see that on the runway. I don't want to see you kind of like, okay, well, I guess this is what they put me in. I guess it's okay. I guess I like it. And I want confidence. I want to see somebody that knows they look good walking down that runway.
exactly. And I've seen it even on news programs. Like there was one news program where a stylist came on there, and like you said, she had Afro texture hair, and they're gonna try to do a pointed. I'm like, have you not worked with ethnic hair
Yeah.
before? And that is I thank God that we now have something called the Crown Act,
Mm-hmm.
so that there's representation for hairstylists and people all over the world. We can wear our hair however we want to, mainly African American people, people of color, black people, us. We can wear our hair however we want to in the workplace, the wherever.
Mm-hmm.
And we can now get stylists who is now capable of doing our hair. So
Yeah.
that's important. Representation is definitely key. Because if I go into a salon that is not a black salon,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm running out of town or I need to get my hair done or whatever, that stylist should already know how to handle
Yes.
ethnic hair. And that's how it should be, even the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I went to beauty school, we had to work on every client.
Mm-hmm.
We worked on each other. When we did lab day and they learned how to do black hair, we learned how to do white. So it's all across the spectrum. Know what you're
Yep.
doing when you're doing people of color, ethnic people. And that is a great point that Shayla brought up, because that did, if you go back in time to like what I want to say 1987, Terry Mugler's show, when he had
Mm-hmm.
like the African tribute thing, and it was Iman, it was Naomi Campbell, it was all of these top
Mm-hmm.
supermodels, all of them of color. They all had the same hair texture going down the runway. And that's what we need
Mm-hmm.
still in this current day and age as well too, with Paris Fashion Week. So far,
Yeah, you
but we're
gotta.
still, it's going to take a little bit more progress.
Yeah, I think I do really appreciate that these older houses like Louis Vuitton
Yeah,
and Dior
yeah,
and Chanel, like they're actively trying to add people into their circle that are a little bit more up to date, like Pharrell with Louis Vuitton. Like I appreciate that they're giving him the opportunity to do collections and things like that, because it does kind of bring Louis Vuitton to the modern age and kind of
yeah,
get people that
yeah,
know Pharrell to be like, oh, okay, maybe Louis Vuitton isn't just this bougie, because a lot of people know like the purses, like okay, I can get an LV purse, but a lot of people don't think like, oh, menswear, I can get something nice from Louis Vuitton in terms of menswear that might actually fit my kind of aesthetic. You just kind of and things like that. So I appreciate when they start putting things out there like that, like seeing Offset. I think it was at I think Pharrell's like last show last year. I think he
yeah.
did, where like Offset was wearing like the clothes, and like just seeing Cardi B and Offset going to these shows wearing the clothing and styling it in a way that you're like, okay, so it doesn't have to just be like stuffy. It can be cool. It can be edgy. I can, like you can have a puffer coat, but it can be stylish. It can be couture. It doesn't have to just be a New York puffer coat. And I think seeing that on celebrities that you may kind of resonate more with makes it a little bit easier to go, okay, maybe I can splurge on a little trench coat, and I don't think that that's only for a certain type of person or a certain look. Like maybe it can fit my aesthetic, and I appreciate that. I've seen people on Instagram that are creating content now where they're taking, men's fashion, and they're showing you that you don't have to just wear jeans and a t-shirt. You can wear and layer things, and you can put stuff on, and it can be fitted, and it can look really nice, and you can still feel cool. You don't have to feel lame, or you don't have to feel too dressed up. Like it can still feel really, really edgy and really cool, but you're just polished. And I think I appreciate that kind of intersection between like street fashion and high fashion. I think I love seeing that. And like I said, Pharrell's collections, like this
Oh
collection he
yeah.
just did with the cowboy stuff, I think that's pretty cool that he has a kind of like, collection where he's showcasing that there are black, like the black cowboys and stuff like that. Because a lot of people don't even associate cowboy and black together and realize that there is a whole group of people, even in Compton right now. Like there's the Compton Cowboys that are still actively riding horses, still actively out here, like engrossed in the culture of horseback riding and cowboy and things like that. They just think that that's like, only Hispanics or only like white people will do that. That's only for them. Like, no, there were black cowboys. We were out here same as them, riding horses, same as them. It's just something that we haven't maybe kept up with as much. And there's no reason why we shouldn't. You go to Houston right now, I guarantee you there's probably somebody riding down the street with the horse just chilling. And it's just something that's normal to them. But when you go outside of those areas, you think that it's this foreign concept. We don't do that anymore. Who's out here black riding a horse? It's like there's a lot of us. And that kind of representation in fashion, I think, brings it out there to be like, oh, okay, people still dress like this. There are still people that look and want to look like this, or even I've seen people looking like guys from the 40s. I think that's cool. I think that aesthetic of like the suspenders with like maybe the higher waisted pants, and like I just think I think that's so cool. The slick back hair, like I think that look is a nice polished look, and it kind of, I don't know, something about the nostalgia. It just looks very like edgy but elegant. And I think seeing that more and more, and seeing people and guys be more comfortable with dressing like that is amazing.
And history repeats
Mm-hmm.
itself with fashion because a lot of trends that you would see on these designers nowadays, like Saint Laurent,
Mm-hmm.
we know that in the 80s, if you guys watch shows like my grandmother used to love this show, Dynasty, with
Mm-hmm.
Diane Carroll, it was the overpowered shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of designers are starting to take note from the 80s and give nod to the 80s. Like Sergio Hudson is one of my favorite currently right now. He's going to be
Mm-hmm.
at Paris Fashion Week, I'm sure of it. Um, if you look at some of his pieces, you'll be like, okay, this reminds me of Hilary Banks from The Fresh Prince.
Mm-hmm.
This is giving me a little bit of this, and this is giving me a little bit of Saint Laurent back in the day. So a lot of these designers are pulling inspiration from different time eras,
Yeah.
and we're starting to see it recapsulate and now become the trend now
Mm-hmm.
in 2024. So that's what I'm looking forward to. History repeats itself with fashion, just like beauty trends. Again, I mentioned in the beginning of our beauty talk the overlined lip.
Yes.
Like me and Shayla have overlined lips here. A lot of people are starting to do the overlined lip trend. Whereas we would stack the lashes, we would layer. I mean, there's so many things with beauty. Now, one trend that I did try that I've seen someone try, and it was Beyonce for one of the Run the World video where she had the bleached eyebrows.
Mm-hmm.
I would never do that again. Maybe in my younger days, but now I'm just like, no. But for beauty, we do things out of the
Yes.
ordinary to fit the fashion trend. We've all done some things. Now, skincare. Skincare is the last thing we're going to touch on before we wrap up our girl talk because that is important.
Yes.
In order for us to have flawless makeup, I heard Rihanna say it. Rihanna said, in order for us to have flawless makeup, you got to have a great skincare regime.
Yes.
Now, Shayla, what are some tips that you do when you remove your makeup? Because I know for me, I'm just a classic type of girl. I use Noxzema, which is something that I swear by.
Mm-hmm.
I use Noxzema and Olay. And sometimes I'll go in with a little bit of Clé de Peau or Clinique.
Mm-hmm.
It depends.
For me, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna act like, oh yes, I always properly take off all my
Yeah.
makeup when I, done for the day. No, there've been plenty of times I've been like, if I don't got glitter on my eye, look. I'm probably gonna lay down and go to sleep because I'm tired. And if like I'll be sitting there like, do I have sparkles on my eye? Yeah, I do. I should probably take it off. If I don't have no sparkles and it's just a matte look, honey, I'm probably gonna lay down. I'm gonna take these lashes off and I'm gonna go to sleep because I just sometimes cannot be bothered to just sit there and do the whole thing. But I try to be better about that because I do notice that my skin doesn't feel as good the next day. It looks a little bit more dull. So I will try to I really like is it no, it's Elf. Elf has their hydrating
Love Elf.
line. Elf has been my go-to back from when they used to do like skin, not skincare, body care, when they used to have like bubble baths and
Oh,
lotions. I used to order from them, and it used to take you like 3 weeks to get your order. That was Elf has been my go-to. I buy probably 90% of my things are Elf. Like I have lipsticks, I have eyeliners, I have so much Elf stuff that it's just my go-to. So they have a like a makeup cleansing balm that I'll buy from their hydrating line, and it's real easy. I take off my lashes, I literally just rub it all over my face, rub it into my lashes, and it gets everything off. It doesn't sting. And I like that because then I can really work it into my eyes as opposed to trying to wash it off with like a traditional soap first,
yes.
and then it like stings my eyes when I'm trying to get the mascara off. This one, it literally melts it all off, and then I'll wipe it off with like a baby wipe, and then I'll go in with like a soap cleanser and really cleanse my face. And then if I feel like it didn't really get it, maybe I'll go in one more time. And then usually I'll just throw on a beauty oil, like a light, one of those real light hydrating beauty oils. I'll throw that on and I'll just go to sleep, and that'll be the end of my beauty routine. Sometimes I might buy an eye cream and use that until it's gone, but usually it's just making sure my face is moisturized and making sure I'm like washing it with something that is just good for my skin, whether it's, and I'll switch it up. It may be Elf today. It may be something I found at TJ Maxx that I like the ingredients in, and I
Mhm.
saw that it was like, a nice scrub, like a nice gentle scrub. And I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna buy it. I needed a new scrub anyway. So I try to use different things, just so that my skin doesn't get stuck on, okay, well, this is what we had. This is what you're using. Because I do think that your skin does remember. And so when you start to kind of use the same products over and over, just like your hair, when you start to use the same products over and over, it doesn't have the same effectiveness over time. So I like to kind of just go ahead and switch it up. Let me try, a sample of this. Let me go and see if I can get like a little mini kit of like a different kind of skincare
Yeah.
and see if how that works for my skin. Maybe I'll like how my skin feels better with this than I was using this before. I try not to get so like, I mean, maybe it's because my skin isn't sensitive, so I have the luxury of being able to try just a bunch of different stuff. But I would say if you don't have sensitive skin, it is fine to try different things. If you are sensitive and you know what works, then go for it. Stick with that.
Yeah.
Don't try, to mix it up because I don't want your skin to break out. But if you know that your skin's kind of tough, man, try different stuff. Sometimes you find something that works better than what worked before, but you were so afraid of trying something new that you didn't even realize that you could have gotten something a little bit better for your skin.
And I know a lot of people are like, what does she mean by oils? There's so many
Mm-hmm.
beauty oils and serums
Yes.
out here that can give you a glow as well
Mm-hmm.
too. And I know before I do my makeup, I start off with a blank canvas.
Yeah.
I always wash my face every day with Noxema. And then I go in with the primer. I use the Elf. It's so funny you mentioned Elf. I use their Power Grip primer,
That
and
is
I
the same primer I
absolutely
use.
love it.
That's the same primer I put on when I did this. That is so funny. I have 2 bottles of that Power Grip primer. I have 2 bottles, and it is the only primer I will use now. I bought it, and I was like, oh, Milk who? I'm to Elf. Look, Milk is they can keep that $30 primer over there. I will take my $9 Elf primer, and I will keep it forever. That primer is the absolute truth. I don't know what they put in it and how they figured it out, but Elf can do no wrong with that one.
And I have their brush too, their foundation brush that contours, that sculpts.
Hmm?
It does it all in one stick. I love it.
Yes.
And I also use their poreless putty primer as well too. I know
Yep.
people are scared of the color of it,
Yes.
but beautiful.
It
on
Is
every skin.
amazing. I've used I probably Lord, I've gone through so many e.l.f. products. I had like for my base, I use their concealer, their matte 16-hour camo concealer. I use that as my eyeshadow base. I got their eyebrow pencil on right now. I got the putty prime. I mean the Power Grip primer on my face right now. Uh, I think even my lip liner is e.l.f. Like almost my the brushes I use for my makeup all e.l.f. All my brushes are e.l.f. I don't buy any other kind of brush. Their brushes are amazing for the price and they last, and I probably will never buy any other like higher end brushes because I feel like why like these $5-6 brushes work just fine. There's no reason why I feel like I need to buy, you know, like a Sigma brush set. Like I appreciate what they have. I appreciate MAC and Morphe, but
Oh yeah.
I mean Elf comes through every time. There's almost nothing I can say bad about them except maybe I don't even know. I don't even know what else I can say. I think
They
they
can't do
have
no wrong.
probably cornered the market on affordable makeup that like really is quality makeup. And they know what they're doing. And I don't know how they can afford to have it be so cheap yet so good, but I hope they never change. I hope they don't try to get more expensive or anything like that because they've got it.
And the Power Grip Primer, what I love about that one is the consistency, that gel
Yeah.
consistency. I blended in with my foundation on my beauty blender, warmed
Mm-hmm.
the blender up, and just blended. And I said, oh my God. So
It's
that's why you're getting the results that you see on both of us today,
yes.
that dewy, glowy finish. When I seen it on the model, when they advertised it, I said, oh, I have to try this. They're always advertising something. And then right now they have something in a jar. It's like a hydrating cream. I said I have to
They've
try this
got
as well too. So they're
they've got
always
so
coming
much.
out with
Every time
stuff.
I see them come across my feed, I'm like, let me not even look because I was so mad because I bought a new bottle of the Power Grip primer and then it came out with the pink niacinamide one, and I was like, I just bought the Power Grip primer and you came out with a new version of it that's got skincare built into it. And I can't. I don't need like I have 2 tubes. I don't need another tube of this stuff. But I'm like, oh, why would you post it now? I had just ordered, I think, right, like the day before they like revealed that they were having a new Power Grip primer, and I'm like, see, they did it on purpose. They knew I had just ordered. They did that on purpose, and they wanted me to buy some more. That's all they wanted. They just wanted me to go ahead and make another order. You didn't have to ask me twice. But yeah, I don't like them NYX. Like I stay with drugstore stuff. I like I said, I like my high
Okay.
end things and my little splurges, but I'm gonna go ahead and stick with my e.l.f., my NYX, my Wet and Wild. Wet and Wild has
Ooh,
gotten me
girl,
through.
them
Wet and Wild.
highlighters.
Wet and Wild can honestly do no wrong in my book. From I had some palettes from them to like some other stuff. Look, Wet and Wild, that little stand that they got in CVS, I go through that and I'm like, okay, what y'all got
Their
new? I
eyeliner,
actually just, yes,
everything.
they had a Scooby Doo collection that I saw at Walmart. I was like, oh, let me get this eyeliner. I don't even need these, but I'm gonna go ahead and snatch this one up. I was like, I don't need these colors. It was like a blue eyeliner. I was like, well, it's only like $1.99. Oh, this is only $2. Let me just grab that. I still have them in the box. I haven't even opened them. Still in the box. Don't even know when I'm gonna play with them. But I was like, for the price, why not just grab it? And it's a Halloween collection with Scooby Doo. Like, hello, my childhood. Like, let me just grab it just because.
Mm. Wet and Wild has some amazing highlighters, like their flower petal highlighters. One color called Precious Petals that I absolutely love,
Yes.
and I love their What else do I like from them? Their eyeliners, their lipsticks, their matte lipsticks, all
I
they
used
wear.
to have
So if you like them, you
all
like
of those.
Milani.
I had to end up getting rid of them because it was like, okay, I probably have had these for like a little bit longer than you should keep a lipstick.
Yeah.
But I don't know, something about Wet and Wild. Like I always just, if I go to CVS, I always go to that stand because I just know that I really like their products. I even used to use their nail polishes all the time. That used to be, I would go to their nail polish because I
Mm.
knew that they had some fun, funky colors and it wasn't going to be wildly expensive. Even their setting spray is pretty decent. Their bronzers aren't bad. Like it's just some stuff you just gotta. you gotta stick with. Like I've tried so many different brands, and I end up going back to like the same three. It's gonna be Elf, Wet n Wild, and probably NYX until I die, because I just can't get enough of just the stuff that they have. They never miss. I don't think I've had any bad experience with any of their products.
Um, for me, it's Milani, it's Wet n Wild, it's CoverGirl, it's Maybelline. I use all the brands.
I haven't
I haven't
tried
tried
Milani
all.
much. I need to try
Yeah,
Milani more. I've heard a lot of good things about Milani, and I've like maybe tried a few things from them, like maybe eyeshadows and stuff, but I haven't used them enough to say like whether I really like them or not. But I've heard so many good things about it that I feel like I have to really give them a go.
their Conceal and Perfect foundation,
Really?
which is what I'm wearing today.
Ooh.
Girl, it
Okay, I'm
reminds
gonna
me
have to.
so much of the Dior show. It is so
Really?
good.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm gonna have to check it out. Okay, because you know me, like I said, I'm a Dior girl. I'm gonna be a
Me too.
Dior girl until I die. And so if you're telling me it's like that, then I'm gonna have to check out Milani, because everybody talks about it, and I see it in the store, and I'm like, maybe I'll try, something, and I would just slide back over to my go-tos. But I'm gonna have to definitely give it a try then, because I'm starting to run out of my the Il Makiage foundation. I've seen like the ads and stuff like that, and I went ahead and bought a bottle, and it wasn't
Oh, yeah.
bad, but I think I would definitely love to try something that I know I don't have to order all the time. I can just run to the store and grab real quick.
Yes. Luxury Conceal and Perfect Foundation.
That,
I'm like, it's a foundation and a
that's
concealer. And shout
amazing.
out to Lady K. She put me on to that. That is a great product. So someone's recommended it to me. And then I also use a little bit of Charlotte Tilbury's foundation as
I've
well too.
heard her
That
stuff
rose
is
is very good.
amazing.
That
Like
magic.
that glow that it gives you. I've heard her stuff is beautiful on the skin, and I'm like, oof. I just need to go into Sephora one more time and just grab a couple things, and then that's it. I'm not gonna look at it again. I'm not gonna look at it again. I just need a couple things. Just Charlotte Tilbury is one of them brands that everybody, like even her like compacts, where it's like the blushes and stuff like that. Just the artistry of the packaging makes me want it, and then the way it goes on people's cheeks and how it's like this soft glow. I'm just like, Charlotte, you can take all my money. It's fine. I don't need it because it looks so fire on everybody. Like I have yet to see Charlotte Tilbury blush look bad on somebody where like it looks streaky or it doesn't look like a pretty glow. So clearly she's got it on lock.
And she reminds me so much of Kevin O'Quan. Kevin
Yes.
O'Quan has did the makeup of Janet Jackson. He did
Mm-hmm.
Diana Ross, and Turner, bless her soul. He's done so many of the women in Hollywood. And the way she does makeup and the way the makeup looks on people reminds me so much of Kevin O'Quan.
Yes.
And I had to go and look for some of his palettes. Like his stuff is pretty good too, as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like a lot of these brands that like seem bougie, and you're like, oh, that's not gonna have anything for
Mm-hmm.
us, or it's not gonna, it's that like it looks too light, or it's gonna be like it's only for like certain skin tones, and then you're like, no, like I could actually use this. This is actually something that would work for multiple skin tones, and it's like you just kind of got to get past that initial, it doesn't look like it's made for us, which I think a lot of brands kind of like get you with, like, oh, this looks a little too bougie, or maybe they don't look like they have the shade range that's going to work for me, and it's like you just got to give them a chance. Like Charlotte Tilbury, yeah, that doesn't sound like a brand that's going to have a color that might match our skin tone, but when you go and you look at it and you're
Yep.
like, oh, and you start swatching it and you're like, okay, maybe I was wrong, maybe I jumped to conclusions a little too quickly, because Charlotte got some nice stuff. It's kind of like Stila. Like Stila, you look at their stuff and you're like,
I did
but
too.
then you start testing it, and you're like, okay, maybe Steela's onto something. Maybe I could work with Steela a little bit here.
When I seen their eye pigments and things, they had glitters and then they had eye pigments. That's what drew me into them. But I said foundation. I was looking at TJ Maxx and I said, yeah, this is the only shade color they got. So I was thinking the same way too. But then I went and I did my research and homework
Mm-hmm.
and I said, okay, it's shade inclusive. It's shades for everybody,
Yes.
and that's what I like.
Yeah, definitely. It's so nice now to see that makeup has come such a long way in terms of shade ranges and what you can get for your money and things like that. Because I think that the more shade you have, like you should want more people to buy your makeup. You shouldn't want it to be so niche unless you're going for like I said, like like Makeup Forever, they are kind of
Yeah.
known for being for like theater and and stuff like that, or like Dermablend, like that heavier makeup where you really want it to stand out from the back, for the back row, like stuff like that. I can see where people may be hesitant to try because it doesn't look like it's for the everyday person. Like I forever have wanted the Makeup Forever Flash palette, and where it's got like all the different rows of colors, like the cream makeup that you can use to like do like I've seen people do like body painting or like face painting with it and stuff like that to kind of just like draw different things. I've always wanted that thing, but it's not something I know I would use every day. So it's one of those things where it's like, I don't need this, $70, 30 piece, cream color kit, but I really, really want it because it seems like I could use it for almost anything. I could probably mix it and make a foundation or a new blush or a cool little lipstick color.
Mhm.
So it's like, in that sense, it would make more sense for me to buy it because then I could use it for so many different things versus just thinking, oh, this is more of a makeup kit for like a professional makeup artist that would be doing it on a bunch of different clients. It's like, no, I could use this to make my own lipstick colors or, mix my own foundation or make a cream blush that I, really like for my skin tone. And so I think like looking at makeup like that and not just, oh, this brand is only for this or this brand is specifically for, this type of group. I think when brands start to like open the door to show like, no, you could use this as a person that only does their makeup twice a week. Like this could be something that you only need to spend this money on right now, and then you never have to buy pretty much anything again for a while. If you start marketing it like that, then it's like, oh, well then I don't mind spending the money on this. If you're, saying I can get this much out of it versus just saying, oh, this is a professional makeup artist brand. And it's like, well then now I don't really know if I want to go, look at it because you're scaring me away with the professional part of it.
Quality over quantity. That's how.
Mm-hmm.
And when we're shopping for makeup and beauty products, you always find what draws me in is sometimes the packaging. But
Mm-hmm.
is the product going to work?
Yes.
Like, I know what would work for my skin. And there's other people out here, millions of people out here in the world that are looking for a brand that might work for them. I mean, there's Sam Fine. Sam Fine worked on everyone from Queen Latifah, Mary J. Blige.
Mm-hmm.
There's Fashion Fair. There's Matt. There's NARS. Smashbox, which I haven't really seen people really talk about.
That is
Smashbox is
true.
really
Yeah.
helpful.
Smashbox has some like hidden gems, but I think it's kind of gotten
Yeah,
overshadowed by like Tarte and Morphe and all these other brands that are
yeah,
coming out that I think Smashbox is kind of like that neutral like toned brand where like they don't really have anything like Urban Decay, like they're not going to do something wildly bright or anything like that, and so you kind of forget that they exist because they're more there for the people that want something more of like a natural, like they're going to have the nice eyebrow kits, they're going to have the
yeah,
nice like lipstick colors, but you're like, okay, I mean that's cool, but if you want something funky or something that, or the brands that catch your eye, of course Tarte is going to have like a gingerbread palette, and now all of a sudden that's catching your eye instead of what Smashbox has, which is sad to say that more people aren't aware of what Smashbox really has to offer because they do have a lot of great products.
yes. Another brand is Too Faced. Too
Mm-hmm.
Faced. I love Too Faced. Too Faced came out with almost any kind of eyeshadow palette there is. I mean, there's
Oh
a
god.
palette from
Yep.
Bratz and there's a palette from Barbie and you mentioned Scooby Doo. They come up with a palette for almost everything. And even when the Christmas holiday comes,
Yep.
oh my God, their packages are so beautiful
It is.
because of how they're packaged. They got it in the shape of a Christmas tree, or
Mm.
they do their advent calendar.
Yep.
And I'm like, why the advent calendar this much? Is so pretty.
It is. It is. And you get a lot. I think brands know that we're all visual. We're gonna look at the packaging. We're gonna be like, oh, that's really cute, and we're probably gonna buy it because the packaging is cute. I've done that with a lot of Urban Decay stuff. I'm like, oh, that's really pretty. Oh, I like the way that looks. And then I get the palette, and I'm like, it's not really something I can see myself using
Yeah,
as often as I thought I would, but it does look really cute. So then I kind of like, I get where like you got to kind of go, okay, is it just cute because the packaging is nice, or am I actually gonna use the colors in here, or am I just like, ooh, shiny, and now I'm buying it, and then I'm like, ooh, okay, I spent that money, and I kind of don't get the bang for my buck out of this. I've had to like kind of look back and be like, do I need like the Morphe palette because I like all the colors and like I like how it looks, or is it because I know I'm gonna actually use the colors in this palette. Like I had the Juvia's Place, I think like the Culture 2 palette that they came out with. And I loved it, but it just wasn't something that I was grabbing often because the colors in there, as beautiful as they were, just weren't colors that I gravitated towards a whole lot. So I was like, I have like what I think that thing had like 30 something colors in it. It was a huge palette. And I'm like, it's just sitting here. And I like it and I don't want to get rid of it. But if I'm not using it, then I need to find something I will use and I need to just go ahead and let somebody else take this because I just don't, like I said, I don't want to be that person that just has makeup just to have it. Like I want to have it because I'm using it and then I've used it up and now I need to go ahead and replenish and get some more because I actually really did like that palette. So yeah, like I bought the Elf Chipotle palette that they had. They did a collab with Chipotle and I got that because I was like, okay, well this has neutral colors. This has a little bit of green. This has some brown. It has like a little bit of orange. So it had colors that were fun, but it also had neutral colors that were I'm like, I can mix and match this and actually get like, a nice look out of it versus it being a Chipotle palette that had colors I was never going to use in it, but I got it because it was Chipotle. And I was like, no, I'm actually going to use these colors. And it was cute because it was Chipotle. Why not?
They always come up with something, and that's how they grab you. They even had a cinnamon toast crunch eyeshadow palette I seen somewhere, so
Everything.
they're coming out with them.
Everything. When I saw Chipotle, I was like, that is such a weird collaboration with Elf. But you know what? I'm down for it. Why not? I don't know who decided that these two needed to come together, but I'm happy they did because this is actually a really like this is what I used on my eyes today, and I was like, it's actually a really really solid palette for what it is. Like for a collab, like a funny little collab. I was like, it actually is a really decent solid palette. So I think they understood the assignment of making it fun, but also making it something that they know people are actually going to be able to use and wear.
Yes.
And I think Elf just did a collab, didn't they, with what's her name? The lady from Legally Blonde. They just did like a lip collab with her.
Reese.
No,
Reese
not Reese.
Witherspoon.
The funny that did the bend, the lady that did the bend and snap. I don't know what her name is.
Jennifer Cooley.
Yeah, they just did a collab with her where they did. I think she has like 2 lip liners and like a lip gloss that they did with her, and it's called like Pillow Talk or something like that. And I thought that was the funniest thing because they had like a whole advertisement with her in it, and I was like, of all the brands to go to, Elf gets this collab. Like that's just insane. But I'm like, Elf is on top of it with these collabs and like knowing what people want and like giving us things that are actually going to be something we could use. Like the color was like a pretty neutral pink with like, I think like maybe a light pink and a dark pink lip liner. That's easy. A nice pink lip gloss, like, hello, almost anybody would want that. So it was like, this is a great collab that also is something that we all probably are going to want and can use. So I was like, I appreciate the thought going into, okay, can people actually wear this, and is it not just going to be like a one-off funny color or whatever like that. Like this is an actual
Right.
color I will probably wear consistently.
So we're starting to see a lot of beauty collaborations with different brands
Yes.
throughout the year of 2024. So I'm excited. I
Yes.
know Rihanna's revealing a lot of new things for Fenty. Of course, her gloss bombs are amazing. If you like gloss lips like I do, her gloss
That hot,
bombs are amazing.
was it hot cocoa, hot chocolate, that one, the brown one?
Ooh,
That sparkly brown is just something special about that color. That one is probably my favorite one because it's something you could just throw on your lips with just like a little bit of lip liner and that's it. Like you don't need anything with that. And I think that's something special where you can just throw on a gloss and like it just adds to your look. Throw on a little mascara, maybe some liner, and you're good to go. And you look polished. You look put together. You don't look like you have to, do too much.
oh,
Like you just a little
right,
something,
right.
something.
And what else? That black color is the one that really grabbed my attention. Uninvited. That's the
Mm-hmm.
name of it. Uninvited. I said, okay, so how are women gonna pull this color off? But then she came up with the gloss bombs that have the cooling effect on your lips and the one that's got the heat. So I mean, there's different ones she came up with. But gloss bombs are in. Glossy lips are in.
Mm-hmm.
Cream shadow, as you mentioned, is definitely a statement that we can see, or what we call they talk about glass hair, where the hair is very sleek,
Mm-hmm.
shiny. We see the cream eyeshadow. So that's what made me think about that. but we're seeing a lot of beauty trends starting to shift within this year of 2024. Like Doja Cat really shocked me back in 2023. And I think you know what look I'm talking about,
Yes.
Shayla, when she came to the Schiaparelli show, bedazzled.
I
And
don't even want
this
to
was
know how
crazy.
long that took them. I've done, I've bedazzled and like done like rhinestones and stuff on my own face and like just like in small pieces. So I can only imagine all that. Oh my God. Kudos to her for taking that off because I know that had to be a pain in the ass. I just
Pat
know she
McGrath
had to,
did that. Pat
whew,
McGrath did that.
really. I didn't know
Yes, Pat
that.
did that. That was her work.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, I didn't even know. I just remember everybody being like, "What in the world, Doja Cat, is going on with you?" But I didn't realize Pat McGrath did that. That's an iconic look. That was beautiful. I think it looked stunning. I think just showing up to an event that's supposed to be very polished and doing something that maybe wasn't what people were expecting. I
Mm,
think that's fun. I think having something like avant-garde at a award show or something like that, I think it's more fun than just the conventional very pretty, very polished makeup, because
right.
why not have fun? I mean, it's one night, you might as well go up above and beyond. Might as well throw some rhinestones all over the place, or cover yourself in meat. What did Lady Gaga do? Came out in an egg. Like, just do whatever you want. Come out in an egg, cover yourself in meat. I mean, look, Nicki Minaj had her era of crazy outfits that she was going to award shows
Yep.
in. So I think you just need to have fun. If you're going to just go to an award show just to be pretty, that's cool. But I think we should be pushing the envelope. Why not?
And
Why
that's
not
what
have more fun with your
beauty
makeup
is.
and your outfit?
That's simply what beauty is pushing the
Mm-hmm.
envelope, going outside, above and beyond. Zendaya with the China, she gave us a Chinese bang and looked
Mm-hmm.
absolutely stunning today at Paris Fashion Week for the Schiaparelli show. We haven't seen her reemerge, but they say Euphoria season 3 is coming back. So I said this is great
Yes.
press. So she hit us with the Chinese bang. The makeup was very minimalistic, like mine's today. And the thing is, I've been playing with Jules as well too. We're starting to see a lot of face gems. What
Mm-hmm.
really to the face gems was Cheryl Lee Ralph at the award show because she said she had no idea she had the face gem here, face gem
Mm-hmm.
here. Her hair was bejeweled. So award show season is definitely the season to go above and beyond as it
Yeah.
pertains to beauty. That's when you really push
Yeah.
the envelope. Like, what are you going to give us next? What type of eye color? What type of eye color or what eyeshadow are you going to give us for this season? And that's what beauty simply is just stepping outside of your
Yeah.
norm.
I think when we get more people that are willing to kind of be okay with it looking maybe a little weird,
Yeah,
maybe like, you're not sure if it's like pretty, because it doesn't necessarily have to be pretty. It just needs to be, I think, fun. As long as you're having fun with your makeup, even if it's not what we would call pretty, that's okay.
right.
It should be, if it feels good to you and you like how it looks, then who cares if, like, I've thrown on some colors and like some combinations and I'm like, it's maybe like, kind of off, but it looked fun. Like, even with my hair, like I've done like rainbow where I had like green going into like all different colors, ending in like red in the back. And for everybody, that's not going to be their cup of tea. I'm probably going to look crazy with like bright green hair in the front, and then you realize it's a rainbow in the back, and you're like, okay, what is that? But I liked it. I had fun with it. I let it grow out, and then I cut it and I did something different. But I think if you aren't pushing the envelope with like beauty, with your hair, with your fashion, with your makeup, then I think you start to get stagnant. And I think that's where we start to get where like we try to put so many rules on what you can look like when you go to this event. Oh, you should only be wearing this when you're here because this is what looks good in this kind of setting. Oh, you shouldn't have this color hair because it's not going to look good on your skin. It's like, look, have fun. Dye your hair bright blonde if you want to and see how it looks. And then if you
Period.
don't like it, or cut your hair, or do it bright red, do it green. Like, I tell people all the time, like, people are like, oh, I thought about cutting my hair. I'm like, cut it all off, get rid of it, do something fun, and then if you don't like it, let it grow out and grow back. But I get so many compliments on my hair no matter what I've done. Like, I've cut my hair too short one time and was like, oh, well, I guess it's just gonna be real short this time. and got so many compliments on how it looked. And people were like, "Oh, I like your hair. Oh, that looks so cool." I've done like heart designs on the side of my head that like I was just bored. It was like, you know what? I'm gonna dye my hair and I'm gonna try to do like little Powerpuff Girls style hearts where it was like pink and then purple and then green. And people were like, "Oh, that looks so cool. How did you do that?" I just have fun. Like if it looks crazy, it looks crazy. But it at the end of the day, I'm having fun with myself. I'm having fun with my hair. I'm not taking it too serious. I mean, don't burn all your hair off. Try to be at least, a little bit safe with what you do, but have fun with it. Have fun with your beauty. Have fun with your nails. Get the
Yeah.
rhinestones, get the long nails, get the purple, blue, green, whatever you want to do. Try to step outside your norm.
And you've mentioned another powerhouse for beauty as well too in the beginning of our girl talk, and that was Cardi B. Cardi B, whenever she sets out to Paris Fashion Week, shout outs to her makeup artist Erica Lefur.
Man,
Every hairstyle, I
everything
mean, she even had like a bandana material on the side. I said, "Oh my God, who did this?" But Tokyo
is
Styles and Erica
her
are the
team is immaculate. Like I don't Cardi is like the fact that she is a fashion girly, like
yeah.
she studies she knows her fashion history. Like the outfit that she wore to one of the award shows, and everybody was like, "That was an ugly dress." It was like that pearl, like it looked like she was like wearing like a pink dress, and it was like this pearl gown, and it was actually
I
like
know exactly
a
who that was.
vintage
Terry
dress,
McGuire.
and everybody was like, "Ew, what is that? That
And
doesn't
she
look good on her." And I'm like,
had the pearls in her
"Yep."
hair too. That was McGuire.
And everyone
Yeah,
was like,
McGuire.
"Ew, that dress looks weird on her." I'm like, "Well, that's a vintage, like that's an actual piece that they like let her wear. Like you don't understand. That's fashion history that they
Yeah.
allowed her to put on for this event. Like you don't just get to do that unless you really are respectful of the fashion industry and the person that created the fashion and things like that. Like the fact that she understands that and gets invited to these places and really embodies the like the clothing. Like anytime she's in any of their clothes, she's regal. I mean, the pictures that she's taking, her poses, she understands that she's there representing the brand and wears those clothes beautifully. And I think the fact that she has such respect for the fashion houses
Yeah.
shows that she's not just like a lot of people just go, "Oh, she's just a rapper. Oh, she's just, like a hood person. Like she doesn't really understand." It's like, no, she's very smart. She understands exactly what she's doing. She understands what she's wearing, the history behind it, and she's paying homage to that. And the fact that these houses are inviting her out, giving her the clothes, letting her wear it, shows that they understand that she knows what she's doing. I just think she's smarter than a lot of people give her credit for, and I appreciate that.
And the funny part about that gown is I was watching her red carpet interview. She kind of
Yeah,
had to shimmy. Offset was laughing. They was kind of laughing. Like I can understand who was it? It was Dua Lipa. Dua Lipa had the same problem not too long ago at a award show. She said I can't sit down in my gown because the gown she had like a bone type material. So that's
mm-hmm.
why she just kind of okay. I was
Yeah, like
like
sometimes you
this.
just
It
kind
was
of gotta
funny.
you gotta like sit to the side and not really sit. Like Kim Kardashian had to do the same thing. Like sometimes, look, man, you gotta like
Do your
slide
thing.
sideways and just kind of like hang out the car so you can make sure you got the outfit on and stuff like that. Like sometimes these outfits ain't made to sit in. Sometimes these things are just made to look real pretty while I walk down the carpet, and then maybe I might have to change into something when we get inside. But look, you saw the look, right? You saw how it looked. You saw me in it. All right, now I got to put on something a little more comfortable so I can sit in my seat for the award show. But yeah, I really appreciate people that actually seem to have respect for fashion and actually understand the history behind fashion and things like that. Like seeing Willow with Thierry Mugler and
Oh,
her alien perfume campaign
that's
that she
my
did.
favorite scent,
Oh
girl.
my god.
Alien
When I
Goddess.
saw her in that commercial, I was like, she looked stunning. Like the outfit that they put her in for that commercial, I was like Willow can honestly probably do no wrong for me either. Like the fact like she just looked beautiful, and I appreciate that they're taking these artists and these people and they're like giving them the opportunity to really be high fashion and be couture and be out there showing that we're not just one dimensional. Like I can be in this very high fashion ad, even though you may think I'm this weird little girl over here. I can be in this high fashion ad and look gorgeous and look beautiful as me, and not with all this extra stuff. Like she just, I don't know, whatever they did for her makeup in that thing was just good.
Oh, that bronze. She
Yeah,
was
it was just,
bronze from head to toe.
yes. I was like, oh yeah, I need this like framed somewhere because this is gorgeous. It reminded me of Charlize Theron for J'adore.
When she was coming up out, yep.
Every time that commercial plays, I'm just like, ugh. I'm not even a big fan of the J'adore scent. I love Miss Dior, but that commercial when she goes J'adore Dior, I'm just like, yes, Charlie, you could do no wrong. Like it just that glow, that gold, that just like the opulence that it showed. I was like, I don't even like the scent like that, but I might just have to buy a bottle of J'adore just to have it, just to have that bottle sitting there on my dresser because just fascinating. I don't these houses know what they're doing with who they cast in these commercials.
And they do the makeup
Oh,
so pretty. The makeup comes out so evanescent when you see it on TV. And I'm flipping through Vogue and I seen the exact campaign you're talking about, where
yes,
she has the gold, like the gold
yeah,
gown with
yep.
the choke all the way up to here. And then she snatches off the pearls and then again. I know
Mm-hmm.
exactly which one you're talking about. And then there's one where I mean, she did so many
Yeah, she's
different
like
Dior
climbing the
commercials.
like the gold thing. I'm like she just I don't know. It's something about Charlize. She's got that smoky, sultry like thing going on. It's something about her whole like aura that is just like, you know what? She's just go. You could put her in probably any commercial, and she just exudes this like easy sexiness about her. Even Willow, like it's something like
Um,
when she's in that Terry Mugler commercial, it's just like it's something so like sensual about the way they did that commercial, but in like such an easy way. Like it wasn't like they forced it. It was just like she just had that, and they just turned on the camera and were like, "All right, just go, just say your lines, and we just need you to look like you." And it worked for her and just gorgeous.
and she didn't say
Nope.
anything in that commercial. The way the camera just panned in on her eyes, I said, "Oh my
Yeah,
God!"
it was
They did it behind the
those
scenes. So
eyes are
good.
captivating. Like you said, that bronzy makeup and the look that they gave her, it's like everything just worked. Everything worked, and then I just don't understand how you can't see the artistry and stuff like that.
And that's what beauty is. Beauty is art, being able to push and evolve the envelope and set your own trend.
Yes.
That's what we're looking forward to for 2024. So, a lot of metallic like materials. You're going to see a lot of sparkle. You're going to see a lot of glamour this
Mm-hmm.
season in 2024. 2023 was very, I want to say, monochromatic, whereas now people are starting to turn it up and say, okay, let's add some glitter. Let's add a little bit of this. Let's add a little bit of that.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with adding drama, what I like to call drama, to your
Yeah.
beauty glam section.
Yeah. Definitely. I would love to see just more like glam and more like I guess fun in fashion. Like I think that the classic couture is always going to be there, like the Chanel's, where like you get the classic
Yes.
suits and those like those classic lines are always going to be there. Having like the staple pieces, like where you can get a nice A-line dress, a beautiful blouse, things like that. But I like when you push the envelope, when you add just a little bit more detail, something that you normally wouldn't do, like the Naomi Balmain with the like the people's faces on the clothing and
Oh,
like all the just the mixture of the color blocking and the faces and the gold and like the just
that was
how
a
like
beautiful
it
collection.
was gorgeous. And so it's like stuff like that is okay to have. You can have a collection that is sleek but also has that fun aspect to it. It doesn't always have to be so serious, or it doesn't have to be so avant-garde that it looks like I can't wear this anywhere. Like I do appreciate when they mix that it's wearable but also art, because then you get more people going, oh okay, I could probably like I wouldn't mind wearing a jacket like that. Or like say if like we see it all the time where brands will have like their fashion shows in Paris, and then you'll see like Target will have something similar later on down the line. It kind of gets people in the mindset of, oh, okay, I could see how I could wear this too in my everyday life, and it not just be something that is high fashion and I have to wear it at some kind of special event. Like I can wear it now. I can wear it going to church. I can wear it going to, just like you know, a nice event that I might have or a nice dinner. I can have like a kind of funky couture-esque jacket and I don't feel like I'm doing too much. I feel like this is just kind of something that, you know, it's just fashion now. Now it's just available for everybody. It's something that we all can enjoy.
Right. And the everyday person, they look at it and they're just like, down here in South Carolina, they've never seen anything
Hmm.
like it. But to step outside of the norm and introduce people to that is incredible because they'll start picking up on the trends on what's going on in the world of beauty and
Hmm.
style.
Yeah,
Trends in the
shoot,
city
living
here.
down here, I've been surprised at how many people have like loved my hair and like I get so many compliments on my hair and they're like, oh, I just love the colors and I love how your hair is cut and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, thank you. I'm like, they are so nice down here. Like just giving out compliments left and right and stuff like that. Like you could tell they really genuinely think that you look just really cool. And I think that's really nice to see that they're not afraid to express that to you and
Yeah.
that it's not so like you know, a lot of people kind of think that especially down south that they are a little less like welcoming of stuff like that, like
Right.
people that look vastly different. Look, I have had people willing to pay for stuff for me, and like you know, grocery store, like, oh, you know, no, let me just go ahead and get you that. It's like just being super nice and just complimenting you, you know, or like remembering you and saying like, oh, I remember when you came in before. You know, I remember seeing you and realizing like, you know, my son has gotten bigger, and they're like, oh my God, that's the baby. You know, I
Oh,
remember when you came in and he was small. So it's like it's amazing to see that the like beauty, like you going out and looking a certain way will still bring in that kind of great energy towards you, and it's so refreshing to see that in this day and age and not have it be like, oh, you look weird, or you know, like, why are you got
right.
all this on, you're doing too much, why'd you cut your hair, you know. No, everybody's been just super nice about a lot of this stuff, and I think that's just amazing.
And open-minded. People are becoming more
Yes.
open-minded to beauty and fashion trends. I know my mom is just very Christian. Like she wears certain things. She's not like what I'm wearing today, but she's just like I let my baby be create. Because growing up with siblings, we all have our own creative niche.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted to do what we wanted to do, have our own style, develop our own style. And I'm thankful that my mom let us experiment with our style and things growing up. And she's now gotten into wearing makeup. I know for her class reunion, she's like, come do my makeup.
Aw.
And she'll look at a picture of me because we both look identical. Everybody's like, you're your
Aw.
mom's twin for sure.
Aw.
I did her makeup, just like make me look like you. I said, all right. And I did. And I started experimenting on her with all sorts of colors. And she was like,
Yes.
she looked at a purple in the palette and I put that purple on her skin tone. She just like, I can't do red lips or anything colorful. I said, yes, you can.
Yeah.
So I put a purple on her for her second day of her class reunion. And so many compliments just rained
Yes.
in. Oh my God,
You'll
you
be
look
so
so beautiful. This color looks so
surprised when you step
yeah.
outside your box and you're like, oh, let me turn on my light real quick because I just realized I'm getting super dark. There we go. All right. I was like, it is getting dark in here. Okay, so at least we got a little bit more light. But yeah, like I tell people all the time, when you experiment and when you try something different with your look, a lot of times people will give you the compliment because they can kind of see that like they see something different than what the norm is. You know, everybody's out here maybe with the red lip. You come in with the purple lip, and it's like, you know what? I never thought to try a purple lip, or you know, I never would have thought to try like this kind of eyeliner or this hair color or things like that. Like I've had so many people, like women with hair short like mine, be like, you know what? I never thought to try that color, but that looks really pretty on you. And I'm like, yeah, why not just
Mhm.
go for it? Try it, see how it works. I mean, I keep my hair short, so like if I don't like it, I could probably just cut it off. And you know, at the end of the day, it didn't really hurt me none. But I think having more people just going out there and just trying stuff, you start to see like, you know what, people are actually really into seeing the differences and not always seeing the same thing over and over again. And you'll kind of like make their day and how like different you look when you step out of your comfort zone and just do something fun. Why not? You got one life to live. You might as well have fun with it.
Absolutely. And it's about versatility, or what I like to say, being a
Mm-hmm.
chameleon, experimenting. And I bring up Rihanna because Rihanna is a chameleon. We've seen her
Yeah.
with every sort of hair color, every sort of fashion trend. Every Met Gala look that she's had
Mm-hmm.
has never been the
Yes.
same. It's been consistency with her. The same for Cardi. Cardi is a chameleon as well too. And another one of my personal favorites is Grace Jones. You
Hmm.
never know what you're going to get with these three
Yes.
women. I like Gwen Stefani as well too. Yes, she's a blonde. She's always stuck with that blonde,
Yeah, and
but
I
the
don't think she's
look,
ever changed that blonde since we've met her in Holla Back Girl. I
mm-mm.
think that's been her hair color. She knows that that looked good on her, and she's gonna keep it.
And what I love about them is that they're all so fearless in their
Mhm.
style, especially Rihanna. I'm pretty sure you remember this, where she showed up. She was the last person on the red carpet to the Grammys back in 2015, and it was just about to close down the red carpet. Rihanna shows up at her own terms.
Hmm.
She was the last one on that red carpet, and she showed up in this beautiful Giambattista Valli pink, like she just like
Yep.
a cake topper. She looked gorgeous. Hair pulled back, sleek, and a ponytail. Barely any. She looked
Just
gorgeous.
stunning. Yeah, looking like she just kind of like a princess. Just kind of like woke up and was like, "Oh, I have to go out. Okay, I guess I'll just
Right.
say, I guess I'll arrive. Why not?"
The last person on the red carpet, and they was about to close it, she comes on her own
Hmm.
terms. And that's what I love about her and Cardi, is that there's always a shock factor with them. You never know what you're going to get. Each award show, each Met Gala. She even skipped the Grammys red carpet. No, is it the Grammys or the Oscars red carpet? And she just went straight in to do her performance for Wakanda Forever. Looked stunning. And I think she
Hmm.
was pregnant at the time. So she already had the glow. She looked even more beautiful when she put the gown on and everything. Makeup, and I'm pretty sure when she hosted when she was co-chairman of the Met Gala one
Hmm.
year, the Heavenly
Yes.
Bodies look so gorgeous. That was John Galliano,
Hmm.
custom John Galliano, hand beaded all
That
details,
thing was
and this was when the launch of.
crazy. Beautiful. Beautiful. I like some of the looks you wonder like how did these designers even like think of stuff like this? Like what like how do you get into that creative process of just like taking a piece of paper and just like sketching out a design and then you just end up making it? It's like that process is just insane to me because some of the clothing that they come up with and some of the ideas and the beating and the time, the effort I know this took is like y'all need to get paid whatever and more because that just that level of creativity you don't find in everybody.
And the previous year where she came out with the Gowl Pay yellow number, and everybody
Hmm.
was making memes out of it. She had the red hair, those eyes. When they took that camera and zoomed in on her eyes,
Hmm.
they were so full of mystery. This was way before she came out with Fenty. I said
Yeah.
she's got an amazing glam team because the detailing, and I think that
Yeah, it was that
helped.
like smoke. It's something when yeah, it's some when you can find that team that works well with you, that gets the hair, the makeup, the outfit down. You you have you can almost never lose. Like with Car team, honestly, I don't know if she can ever miss with the team that she has. I think the only way she would is if she gets rid of one part of that team. Then maybe it would kind of like fall apart a little bit. But if she keeps the same team, I don't see how Cardi or like a lot of these people are gonna be like never not look stunning.
And shout outs to Erica and also Tokyo Styles, because Cardi always looks on point every single time. I know Priscilla, who is also the co-founder for Fenty Beauty, who works with Rihanna and does Rihanna's makeup. Rihanna's
Mm-hmm.
always on point. So just like with Paris Fashion
Yep.
today at the Dior show, she looked gorgeous. And again, those overlined lips are definitely in.
Yep.
They've never left. They've always been. She looks gorgeous. So,
Yeah. Excuse me. Whew. See, the cold coming back. Gotta take some more medicine. But yeah, I think like you're saying, just having I think having celebrities that are willing to push the envelope like Rihanna, that like Beyonce, even like even though Beyonce gonna keep her a honey blonde hairdo, Beyonce with her fashion and the way that she's willing to kind of like push the envelope with her looks, and Rihanna and Cardi and things like that. And excuse me, like Lady Gaga and Nicki Minaj. I think having people like that is getting it to be where everybody is willing to try something different, try to look a little bit more, funky and fun and out there and stuff like Doja
Yep.
Cat, like what Doja Cat is doing. Getting people to be like, it's not so serious. Like, don't take it so serious all the time. Yes, you want to be pretty, I know, but sometimes you can have fun. There's an artist, Melanie Martinez, who her whole tour is her like kind of like dressed up and like this what some people will call ugly, but the makeup is so like otherworldly. I think it's the coolest thing ever. I think the fact that she has this whole persona that she's created for this album and for this tour, and the fact that she's sticking to this makeup look of making it look like kind of like alien-esque, I think is so cool because you don't really see people doing that. You see people just trying to look nice and pretty and stuff like that. And she's like, it's not really about being pretty. It's about having this kind of aesthetic for the tour that I'm giving, for the music that I made for this album. And this album has a specific look to it, and I want to embody that. And I think that creativity is starting to bleed into everyday life now too. And I appreciate celebrities that are willing to do that and just go ahead and say, you know what, screw it. Let me be the weirdo and let me go ahead and show y'all what we can really do out here.
Exactly. Step outside and set your own trend.
Mm-hmm.
This was a great girl
Yeah.
talk, Fashion Dolls. We talked all things beauty, fashion, healthcare. And Sheila, we got to bring you back on the show. We
Yes,
extended
definitely.
today's show because this was an amazing girl talk, and I had a great time, and I hope you
Yay.
guys do as well too. So before we let Sheila go, Fashion Dolls, Sheila, are there any words of encouragement that you would like to leave to young women that are watching both of us on the screen as it pertains to beauty, as it pertains to style and confidence?
I would say just go for whatever you want to try. Like I say, like at one point when I was like younger, like thinking of like cutting my hair like this short and like just dyeing it. Like I always wanted to dye my hair, but never thought I would cut it and do all this other stuff. But then at one point I was like, why not? Like it doesn't really benefit me to not try it, and there's no reason really for me not to. Like it's hair. Yeah, I liked how my hair was long, and sometimes I think of like, do I really want to grow it back out? But I like that I went ahead and tried it. And I went ahead and just did cut it off, dyed it, and I get so many compliments on how it looks that it's kind of like, why was I so scared to try it in the first place? I think you got to just be willing to kind of put yourself out there a little bit. I know it can be like scary. Like I said, like I was in high school putting red and putting yellow on one eye and green on the other. No one else was going to be not many people were willing to do that, and I looked crazy. I know I did. I have pictures. I can see that I look nuts. But I was willing to at least test it and see and have fun and, risk people calling me crazy. And like my dad was, like, all right, like you look a little nuts. Like you might want to figure that out. Like you got two different colors on your eyes. Like my dad was always the one that's like, all right, you got too much going on. And it's like, but then as he starts to realize that like this is just it's fashion, it's
Yep.
beauty, it's just fun, it's not meant to be like toned down. Like it's a yes, Dad, my eyeshadow is supposed to be purple and silver, and it's supposed to be sparkly, and it's supposed to be very, very much in your face. It's not supposed to be natural. Like that wasn't what I was going for, Father. That's kind of the point. Like when people start to realize that you're not going for the norm, then they start to realize that, okay, this is kind of fun. Like I can see the
Right.
beauty in this. I can see how this can be perceived as pretty. And I think you just gotta go for it. Like even the clothes that I wear, like sometimes I wear stuff that like the coloring or like the style, and it's like, oh, that might not be what you would dress up as, or you would normally throw on to be dressy, but it's like I feel like it looks good on me, it feels comfortable on me. I like how it moves with my body, especially like cardigans and things like that. Like I just go for it. If I think I look good in it, like wide leg pants, like I'm gonna always be an advocate for getting some wide leg pants. Get you a nice pair of like trousers that are wide leg and maybe some wide leg jeans, you can find them. And I think that is something that everybody should have. But that's just me personally. I just love how that looks. And I think when you just step out and you just wear something like that, or some funky shoes, like people hate Crocs. Look, man, I'm gonna have me some Crocs. I'm gonna wear my Crocs. I'm gonna put my little things on my Crocs, my little gems and jewels and all my little things, and I'm rock my Crocs, and I'm gonna go out and be happy in them. Don't let people tell you what they think would look good, and then you just start going and following that, because then you'll never develop your own personal style, what you like me stretching my ears. There are people that thought that that was going to look crazy. My grandmother was like, no, absolutely not. I think that's going to be, I don't think that's going to be that cute, and then now it's kind of just
Yeah,
normal to them. Like having my
almost
ears
everybody's
stretched,
doing
like they don't even really see it as like a thing anymore. It's just like, oh yeah, you stretch your ears, and like they see that, okay, it does look kind of nice. Like in their mind, they had an idea of what it was gonna look like, but then when they see it on me, now they realize, oh, okay, so this is how you were gonna do it. This is the way you did it in your own way, and they can kind of appreciate the beauty in it from that perspective versus when they just hear me say I want to stretch my ears, and they're like, whoa, okay, like you want to do what? And so you really got to just own it. You got to try not to listen to what people are saying, and what because you're probably gonna have family saying that's not gonna look good, or you shouldn't do that, or this or that. You just gotta be like, you know what, that's cool. I get that you think that might not look pretty on me, but I would like to try it, and I'm willing to go ahead and look a little crazy so that I can experiment and find out what really works for me as a person. And I think all young women should just have a phase where they do try stuff. Try the makeup that you think might look crazy. Just see if you like it. Try if you can, try a different hair color. Throw on wigs. I had a whole time where I was wearing wigs. I was doing 613 down to my butt. I was doing pink with the bang. I was doing short bobs that were red. I was trying it all because I was just like, why not? It's just hair. I want to see what I would look like, and I would just do it. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but you just gotta try it. Why not? Like, what really are you going to be losing if you do try it? If you don't, then you'll never know. But if you do try, the most you might get is a little like laugh. Somebody might go ha 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 at you.
And Kiki Palmer said this: the beauty of being a black woman is that we as black women, we're multifaceted. We don't stick around with one style. We are going to switch up. One day we might have curly hair.
Mm-hmm.
The next day we might have straight hair. The next day we might have short hair. The next day we might have braids. I've done it all as well too. So me and Shayla
Mm-hmm.
have that in common where we are both. I'm pretty sure you've seen the green hair. When I first started, I had a blonde mohawk, and everybody's like, "What blonde mohawk is she talking about?" I had to dig in the archives and find that picture when I first started Style by Stevie. But I said, as throughout the years, my look
Mm-hmm.
has progressed.
Yeah.
I know that one color I sworn away from was red. I said I don't want to be in any hair color family but red. But now I've worn red hair back in last season, last
Mm-hmm.
year, 2023, and it shocked people. And then I gave people green hair. So be as versatile and as adventurous with style and beauty as possible because looks are changing.
Yeah.
They don't stay the same. Fashion trends, they keep you on your toes because you don't know what you're going to expect each
Yep.
year. So they're always evolving. So stay tuned. Definitely.
Definitely. Yep.
All right, fashion dolls, and that concludes our Fab Girl Talk with the lovely Shayla. Let everyone know where they can follow you because I would love to have you back. This was needed. There's so
Yeah.
many beauty trends and things that are going on in 2024.
Yeah. So you can follow me pretty much on I would say on here. Shayla underscore Crayola is probably the best spot on Instagram to find me. I will try to post more consistently, but mom life.
We get
I will,
it, girl.
I will try to, get more consistent with posting. But and then I also have my YouTube channel, which if you would like to go follow, I believe is the same thing, Shayla underscore Crayola, or it is just Shayla Crayola. Um, if you type in Shayla Crayola, chances are I'm going to come up on YouTube. Um, but you can find me there. I still do have videos up from when I did like tutorials and things like that and hauls and stuff like that. So you can still go on there and see when I did like makeup tutorials and hauls and this and that, and you can see how my style has changed when I had a mohawk where I had all my sides shaved and I had hair down the middle, and I
Girl,
would do I
Me
would do
too.
crochet braids. I would do like crochet. I would do all kinds of stuff to my hair. I had it short. I had it long. I dyed it purple, blue, pink, green, every color under the sun, and then some combined. So if you want to see a timeline of my journey from the bottom to the top, then you can go on YouTube. I've got probably, yeah, all the way back to like, I don't even know, 2011 is probably on that channel. Yeah, it goes back pretty far. Probably right after I got out of high school is when it started, and then it's from then on. And so, yeah, if you want to see my journey, you can go on there. And yeah, and you can always, like I said, you can find my husband and plug my hubby, of course. You can find him on here as well, Dame Smith. You can find his music, same thing, Dame Smith. It's the same everywhere. But yeah, he's got his fitness, he's got his music, he's got everything in between. I mean, he's doing it all.
He was here. I know he's like, what is taking these women so
I'm
long?
sure I wouldn't be surprised if Lil Man had just fallen asleep at this
Oh.
point. Like he probably because he didn't take his nap, so he probably is either causing havoc or he's asleep. I haven't heard anything. Like it's kind of quiet, so I'm assuming either Daddy's got it on lock or he's asleep. Or he's just causing havoc and I can't hear it. And I'll go into the room and it'll be a war zone, but it'll be okay.
As always, it was a pleasure meeting you, and I had such a great time. This was therapeutic, and I needed this.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure a lot of you ladies did as well too. So again, indulge in luxury, indulge in self-care, pamper yourself, get your hair done, get your nails done, go out, buy some makeup, treat yourself to the best, ladies. It's all about self-care here on Style by Stevie. And Strange Mind, Dark Heart, she says she just followed you,
Oh,
Shayla,
thank
in your
you.
page.
Thank you. Yes, I have my Instagram page is a mixed bag of content. You're gonna find hair, makeup, me, my baby, food, my husband, my family. It's not one of them curated Instagrams where it's like, oh, it's all really nice, pretty. No, it's gonna be a little bit of everything. So if you like a little bit of everything about somebody's life, then feel free to scroll through. I got recipes on there for ice cream that I've made. There's so much you can find on that page. So if you like that, then you've come to the right place.
Y'all go follow my girl Shayla, and we are definitely gonna bring you back for another
Yeah.
girl talk. I would love to have you back on in the spring as well
Yes.
too.
That would
So
be so
we're
much
gonna
fun when,
set that up.
hopefully we're not feeling, as sick and, stuff like that. And I can, I feel a little bit, a little bit better. I'll throw on, some fun, colorful makeup. Maybe I'll have some stencils with some
Ooh,
flowers and some things. Of course, my hair will be probably completely different when you see me then, but it'll be definitely fun.
definitely. All right, fashion dolls, ladies and gentlemen, Shayla Crayola, and joining me tomorrow we have Tony X Evans. I love you all. This is going to be a dazzling week of interviews, and it is Paris Couture Fashion Week. I love you all, and you guys stay tuned for more. Take care, everybody.